ṣẹlẹ̀ lásìkò tí Gani Adams yọjú sí kóòtù nìbàdàn lẹ́yìn tí adájọ́ ti pàṣẹ pé kí wọ́n fi ìwé ìpẹ̀jọ́ gbé ààrẹ ọ̀nà kakanfò ilẹ̀ Yorùbá Ìbà Gani Adams wá sí kóòtù láti wá jẹ́jọ́ ẹ̀sùn ìbanilórúkọjẹ́ tí ajìjàgbara ọmọ Yorùbá ní Sunday Igboho fi kàn án. Ọkùnrin náà ti farahàn ní kóòtù lọ́jọ́ 26 oṣù kẹfà ọdún 2024 yìí níwájú onídàájọ́ M.I. Sule ti yàrá ìgbẹ́jọ́ 11 nílé ẹjọ́ gíga ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tó wà ládùúgbò Ring Road nìbàdàn nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ lẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún ti wáyé. Ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọ́ ìran Yorùbá ni olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo ayé mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho ló pe Gani Adams lẹ́jọ́. Ó lọ́kùnrin náà bà òun lórúkọ jẹ́, bí ìbanilórúkọ jẹ́ òun sì ṣe bà òun lọ́kàn jẹ́ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lòun ṣe fẹ́ kí wọ́n fìyà jẹ ọkùnrin náà tó. Nítorí náà kí ilé ẹjọ́ pàṣẹ fún ọ̀gá àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ OPC nílẹ̀ yìí náà láti san mílíọ̀nù lọ́nà ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà 500 million naira gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó ìtanràn. Gẹ́gẹ́ bá Aláròyé ṣe gbọ́, ohun tí ọkùnrin ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọ́ òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí torí ẹ̀pẹ́jọ́ kò ṣẹ̀yìn àkásílẹ̀ ohun kan tó jẹ́ ìtàkùrọ̀sọ tó wáyé láàrin Gani Adams àti ọkùnrin kan tí wọ́n ń pè ní Nuru Banjo nínú oṣù kọkànlá ọdún 2021 èyí tí àwọn oníròyìn kan gbé sórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára láìpẹ́ yìí. Nínú àkásílẹ̀ ohun náà la gbọ́ pé olùjẹ́jọ́ ti ṣàpèjúwe olùpẹ̀jọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí apààyàn. Ó lóun ló ṣokùnfà ikú oró tó pa gbajúmọ̀ olóṣèlú tó tún fìgbà kan jẹ́ mínísítà nílẹ̀ wa olóyè Bọ́lá Ìgè. Ṣùgbọ́n Ìgbòho sọ pé òun kò mọ nǹkan kan nípa ikú ọkùnrin náà. Òun ló bá gba kóòtù lọ, ó ní kílé ẹjọ́ fìyà ńlá jẹ ọ̀gá àwọn OPC ọ̀hún fún bó ṣe bà òun lórúkọ jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ìpànìyàn. Láti oṣù kẹrin ọdún 2024 yìí lolùjẹ́jọ́ ti pẹjọ́ náà. Ó sì yẹ kí ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ 3 oṣù kẹrin ọdún yìí, ṣùgbọ́n èyí kò ṣeé ṣe nítorí olùjẹ́jọ́ kò yọjú sí kóòtù títí di ọjọ́bọ̀ tọ́sídẹ̀ẹ́ ọjọ́ 9 oṣù karùn-ún ọdún yìí tí ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún kọ́kọ́ wáyé. Lọ́jọ́ náà lákọ̀dá kóòtù ṣàlàyé pé òun kò láǹfààní láti fún olùjẹ́jọ́ níwèé ìpẹ̀jọ́ nítorí òun kò bá nílé ẹ̀ tó wà lójúlé 14 òpópónà Ezekiel lójú ọ̀nà Tóyìn níkẹjà. Ìyẹn ládájọ́ ṣe pa láṣẹ pé kí wọ́n lo gbogbo ọ̀nà yòówù tí olùjẹ́jọ́ yóò fi mọ̀ pé òun lẹ́jọ́ jẹ́ ní kóòtù yìí. Kódà bó gba kí wọ́n lẹ ìwé ìpẹ̀jọ́ náà mọ́ géètì ilé tàbí ara ògiri ilé ẹ̀ tó sì sún ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún síwájú. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Oòduà People's Congress OPC ni wọ́n dúró wámúwámú sínú ọgbà àti lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́gbẹ́ kan ìta kóòtù náà nígbà tí ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún wáyé lọ́jọ́ Wednesday láti ṣàtìlẹ́yìn fún olùjẹ́jọ́ nítorí olórí wọn ní í ṣe. Àwọn agbẹjọ́rò olùpẹ̀jọ́ ìyẹn Gani Adams, amòfin M.A. Hasan, amòfin Salaudeen àti omidan lọ́ọ̀yà kan tó ń jẹ́ O Anífowóṣe rọ ilé ẹjọ́ láti sún ìgbẹ́jọ́ náà síwájú kí àwọn lè láǹfààní láti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ àwíjàre oníbàárà àwọn dáadáa. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tiwọn, amòfin Junaid Sanusi àti amòfin Oyinlọlá Àìná tí wọ́n jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò olùpẹ̀jọ́ ìyẹn Sunday Igboho sọ pé àwọn kò lòdì sí ìbéèrè náà. Wọ́n ní ìgbà yòówù tí ìgbẹ́jọ́ ìbá wáyé dandan ni kí òdodo fojú hàn nígbẹ̀yìn. Lẹ́yìn náà lónídàájọ́ Sule sún ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún sí ọjọ́ 29 oṣù kẹwàá ọdún 2024 tá a wà yìí. Akọ̀ròyìn Aláròyé bá àwọn agbẹjọ́rò ìhà méjèèjì sọ̀rọ̀, ti olùjẹ́jọ́ àti ti olùpẹ̀jọ́. Èyí lohun tí wọ́n sọ.
Orúkọ mi ni amòfin Junaid Sanusi tí mo jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò fún Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbogbo wa ṣe mọ̀, èní ni ìgbẹ́jọ́ láàrin Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho àti Ìbà Gani Adams lórí ẹ̀sùn ìbanilórúkọjẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣe fún olóyè Sunday Igboho. Tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lénìí ni pé àwọn agbẹjọ́rò fún Ìbà Gani Adams wọ́n gbé application kan wá tí wọ́n ní kí wọ́n da ẹjọ́ nù. A fèsì sí application náà. So bá a ṣe fèsì sí èní yìí, a rò pé wọ́n sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ gbọ́ ni. Nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ ni pé kíkọ́ tó tún fún wọn láyè àmọ́ nǹkan tó tún fẹ́ ṣe. pé kóòtù fún wọn ní ààyè láti ṣe nǹkan kan àmọ́ àwa nígbàgbọ́ pé gbogbo nǹkan tó bá wù kán fẹ́ ṣe náà òdodo yóò fojú hàn ní ìgbẹ̀yìn gbogbo nǹkan tó bá wù tí wọ́n lè ṣe. So fún ìdí èyí àwo sọ pé kán má sún ẹjọ́ yẹn síwájú and lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn ni wọ́n adjourn sí 29th of October 2024. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn.
Orúkọ tèmi ni agbẹjọ́rò Olùtọ́lá Àyìnlá. Mo jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò fún àpapọ̀ ìfẹ́lódún àpapọ̀ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá. Àwọn ló gbé wa dìde pé ká wá darapọ̀ mọ́ ìgbẹ́jọ́ tó ń lọ ní ẹjọ́ tí olóyè Sunday tí wọ́n ti bà wọ́n lórúkọ jẹ́. Ajàjàgbara ni wọ́n lè bà wọ́n lórúkọ jẹ́. Àwa wòye pé irú ilé kò tọ̀nà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bá máa lọ síwájú, a gbọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ ìgbà lórúkọ jẹ́ yìí ó wà lára àwọn tí ó fẹ́ tú wa ká. A ti ṣe àṣeyọrí nínú ìgbẹ́jọ́ tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́, a tún ti sún síwájú. Àná ara àṣeyọrí tá a ṣe lénìí ni pé a ti gbé ẹjọ́ yẹn, a tún ti gbé kalẹ̀ lọ́nà ọ̀tọ̀ nípa pé olóyè Gani Adams tí wọ́n ní pé kí wọ́n wá sílé ẹjọ́ tí wọ́n wá ilé ẹjọ́ pa láṣẹ pé ká lọ fún wọn ní ìwé níbikíbi tí wọ́n bá wà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti wá sílé ẹjọ́ lónìí. Ó ní pé ẹjọ́ tí ó ti ń dòkó a dẹ̀ ti ṣetán láti gbé ẹjọ́ láìpẹ́. Àmọ̀dẹ̀mọ́ pé lágbára Ọlọ́run àṣeyọrí la máa ṣe. Àjọṣepọ̀ wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kò gbọdọ̀ bàjẹ́ ní tí olóyè Sunday kò dúró fún mi. Àwa náà dẹ̀ gbọdọ̀ gbìyànjú a rí i pé orúkọ olóyè Sunday kò bàjẹ́ torí pé orúkọ wọn bá bàjẹ́ ó máa affect iṣẹ́ àti ìgbà tí a jà láti gba òmìnira ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọ̀làwálé Àjàó ló ṣàkójọ ìròyìn yìí fún iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn Aláròyé online TV. Faith Adébọ́lá ló kà á sétí ìgbọ̀yìn.
Late night discussion, Koikimedia, share the program and let's kickstart. And we will be doing more analysis on that. Moki Bubu Alen Kosafe. As the program tonight, it's all about the late night conversation. I'm going to play this before we also kickstart.
Ìníwá yín tí o ẹ ṣeun gan ni nígbà tó bá wá yá àwọn tẹ́tí jẹ́ ní gbèsè tí gbogbo wọn ti yáwó lọ́wọ́ wọn tó ti pé ó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ́ ṣe ń bowó jẹ́ ẹni tó bá ti fẹ́ ṣèṣílẹ̀ ẹni bọ́ ṣe ń bowó jẹ́ bọ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe ẹni bọ́ ṣe ń bowó jẹ́ bọ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe wẹ́ẹ̀dì ẹni bọ́ ṣe ń bowó jẹ́ bọ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe ayẹyẹ tòkú ẹni bọ́ ṣe ń bowó jẹ́ bọ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe toyè ẹni bọ́ ṣe ń bowó jẹ́ n tó fowó ṣe nìyẹn at the end of the day gbogbo àwọn tó lọ yá àwọn owó ìlọ́wọ́ wọn á padà wá kó yín lẹ́yìn ìgbìlẹ̀ fẹ́ fojú sí ṣùgbọ́n nítorí pé kí ni Ọlọ́run lè fẹ́ wa kò jẹ́ kó fẹ́ ká ṣe ẹrú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ aládé tó pè wá òun ló ṣe lànà àbáyọ fún wa ló ṣe yọ àwọn ẹni bí ẹni èèyàn bí bàbá wa Akíntóyè bàbá wa olóyè Sunday Igboho bàbá mi White Lion tí ṣe Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí kò ń sùn láàárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án lóru fún ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí àwọn update lẹ́sẹsẹ àwọn nǹkan tó ṣókùnkùn sí yín àwọn ibi tó ti gbà sọ yín sínú bondage tó ti gbà dè yín mọ́lẹ̀ Kóìkì á wá láàárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án lálẹ́ wá tu gbogbo ẹ̀. Mo ṣe program kan ní àṣìbíyàwó tàbí ìjẹta sórí YouTube ní láti máa sọ wípé there are so many things tó jẹ́ pé ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ táàmù tó jẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ Kóìkì láti rí. Mo ṣe program lọ́wọ́ báyìí náà ní lórí YouTube mo wá fẹ́ sáré lọ́wọ́ fídíò kan lọ́dọ̀ wọn mo fẹ́ ṣú ẹ̀ fún àwọn èèyàn bí mo tún ṣe rí ànọ́dá tèmi yẹn tí mo ní ẹgbàá mi ọ̀dọ̀ Kóìkì ni mo ti kọ́kọ́ rí panápaná mọ́tò tó ń jóná nígbà tí mọ́tò panápaná ń jóná ìjọta ló wá fẹ́ paná rí pé náà yẹn máa jó jáde eégún ni because kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ paná first time in my life tí máa rí pé mọ́tò panápaná dẹ̀ jóná ó jóná bẹ́ẹ̀ ó jóná tán nọ́mbà wà kò sómi inú ẹ̀ kẹ́míkà burúkú lọ́ tún lò sínú mọ́tò wọ̀nyẹn so gbogbo owó àwọn nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn láàárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án lálẹ́ tó ń jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé ayé ayọ̀ wà tá lè gbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn wà tá lè gbé Ọlọ́run mọ̀ gbé wọn dìde fún wa so ẹ wá jẹ́ káwa ló wá ṣe kí ni ká sowọ́ pọ̀ nísìn ìran Yorùbá èmi á sọ wípé kò síyà fún wa mú àwa la dẹ̀ ń fìyà jẹra wa Ọlọ́run ò fìyà jẹ wá ọ̀nà tá a dẹ̀ ń gbà fìyà jẹra wa ní pé àìsọ̀pọ̀tì ọwọ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn tó yẹ ká sọ̀pọ̀tì pẹ̀lú tá a bá lè fi inú ló ká fi ìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan ká sọ̀pọ̀tì wọn nísìn we are getting there we are getting out of that failures country a àti kúrò ní location 9 nìyẹn. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run ẹ wá ọ̀rọ̀ million account. If any country tẹ́ bá wà, ìbá jẹ́ $10, £10, $10, 10 sefa, 10 euro, 10 gbogbo ẹ̀, 10 gbogbo owó tó bá ti ń lọ láyé ẹ lọ fi sí. And if you have more than that, please put it. My daddy, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò sir, daddy mi Dr. Olamide, mi ò ní wá yín tí bàbá mi. So ẹ lọ fi sí.
Thank you so much, the Moremi of our tribe. Lady K, adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí gbogbo wa jọ kò sí tí à ń ṣe fún ìran wa ní àsìkò tí ọba Elédùmarè tí ó gbé wa sí iwájú gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa náà kò sí ìyàtọ̀ láàrin àwa àtẹ̀yin. Àwa kò jẹ́ agbẹnusọ fún yín. Ẹ̀yin gangan ni onímọ̀ tí ẹ̀ ń sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé ilé tó lọ. Ẹ jókòó ká tún jọ tẹ̀síwájú ní aago 11 ló ṣẹ̀ lọ lù. Èmi ti sùn díẹ̀ o. That means pé mo ní strength to take us for 3 hours. We see how it goes. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyàwó mi fún gbogbo akitiyan tí wọ́n ń ṣe torí pé eléyìí tá gbé dání tí wọ́n bá sọ pé kò ṣeé ṣe náà ni. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí olóyè Ìgbòho náà. A dúpẹ́ fún ìyá wa tó dúró ti Professor Adébánjá Akíntóyè àti gbogbo àwọn tí a jọ ń ṣètò tí àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wọn, because if your family do not allow this to happen, ó kàn máa dájà lẹ̀ láàrin ìwà àti mọ̀lẹ́bí ni. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi náà. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí gbogbo wa. Orílẹ̀-èdè Kàgbéga àti bẹ́rù As you all know, my name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, known as Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. There is a development happening somewhere around the world that I need to let you know. The world is changing. There's a lot of things happening, and it's happening very, very fast. There's a country in South America that is going into some serious problem as I speak to you right now, and it is a very, very serious one. One day it will happen like that in Nigeria. But right now, this particular country known as Bolivia is a country in the central South America with a varied terrain spanning into the Andes Mountain. Is about almost a lot of rainforest, desert, and Amazon. It is a continent in South America. They have languages in Spanish, Guarani, Paraguay, which is exactly why we say Nigeria, the shithole country, is not a country. And nobody should ever call Nigeria a country. Their population is not even up to Lagos State. The population, which I love to talk about, is about 12.2 million. In the last 1 hour stroke 2, precisely, a lot of news was popping out from that particular part of the world, but you're not aware. Now you're aware because you're a member of this platform, and I need to keep you up to date what is happening around the world. This is the reason why you stick to this platform, because international news is very, very important. If you have not followed the platform, Koikimedia International News.com, you need to go and make sure you follow that particular website. According to many news that is filtering out, and this is coming from different platforms, let's take from Independent. Bolivia facing coup attempt as the military infiltrated presidential palace. According to the Financial Times, Bolivia presidential palace attack in an apparent coup attempt. According to the Guardian newspaper, Bolivia president is now urging the citizen to take to the street and defend against apparent coup. I hope Tinubu will not do the same thing one day if a coup take place in Nigeria and then tell us to come out and defend democracy. And don't tell me there cannot be coup in Nigeria, okay? Because some of you do not understand how these criminal military cabals are all working. They're all connected. And according to the BBC, the one you trust so much, the one that you would rather pay your £5. But thank you so much to those of you that continue on a daily basis to make sure that Koikimedia is supported financially. Financially. Coach, you ask me in the freezer, in the fridge. Talomo? No. Financially, because without funding, you will not be able to have Koikimedia running 24/7. But the BBC that you trust, the one that me and you are paying our TV license to, for those of us living in the United Kingdom, you dare not pay TV license. You could be sentenced to community service or you could go to prison. That is the importance of the TV license. So, but if we have 4,000, 6,000 people watching, and if you all can contribute, voluntarily to what we are doing here, I can assure you that more of what I'm doing here will filter through faster, quicker. I'm not going to tell you the technique I want to use, but I can assure you that if we have the fund, Yoruba Nation conversation that this platform has dedicated without any advert for the last 4 years, will push. Yes, I will take care of my family from that, because as a journalist, I'm meant to look after the family. But most of you don't want to. You just want to watch the program and walk away. But when BBC asks you to give money for children in need, when I am in need as well, you don't do so. But thank you so much for most of you across the world that believe in this platform, and the little that you have, you're pushing, because without you, it would have been very difficult to run this media organization. I am not your blogger, neither am not your vlog. I am a full-time freelance journalist, and likewise an independent one. And shout out to Peter Pan for the super chat. Soldiers have surrounded Bolivian presidential palace in an attempted coup. So it is really, really going down in Bolivia. 12.2 million population. We're going to come back to that. I just wanted you to know what is happening. Fún wọn tó gbọ́ gbogbo òyìnbó tí mò ń sọ látẹ̀kan ní Bolivia, coup ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. You will wake up one day that is not too long, and all kind of things will start happening in Nigeria that would eventually allow us to be free. But before I go into that, let's come back to the discussion of Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho and Iba Gani Adams. There was a court appearance today. Iba Gani Adams needs to understand something. You will not bring a name of somebody like Igboho into the mud without us taking you to court. So prepare all your machineries to fight the battle in the legal means of this particular defamation of character. Because it seems that you don't understand what defamation of character literally means. I might be the spokesperson for Igboho, but I also have my right to speak as an independent person on this particular issue. I have literally kept a little bit muted. But let me tell you, Iba Gani Adams, look at me very well. You know me. I know you before Igbowo. I was in Akoko town in Ondo State, I believe, if I'm right, in 2017. So I am not new to you. And we have given you at least a due accolade of respect as a Yoruba man. Prior, before Yoruba Nation started, I met you in London through the late Dr. Dakwa Williams. And many things that Dakwa Williams told me would not be for consumption to the public right now, according to what I know of you. But I will leave that for another time. But let me just focus on the defamation of character on Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho. If you think that you will go scot-free with these, this is not about voodoo or a tradition Yoruba cause. No, we will fight these in the court battle. And let me appreciate all the legal team that has been put together for Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho to make sure that we can clear his name, because what you said in that voice that you have now talked about, that intelligence that came to me, that Igboho actually went into your mobile phone or however and tampered with it. Seriously, do you understand what you're saying at all? That Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho penetrated into your mobile phone with a conversation with you and someone. I don't think you know what you're talking about. But at the legal team, we'll be telling you more when the case reappears again on the 25th of October. In Jesus' name, inshallah, Lashedumari. But one thing you need to understand, Iba Gani Adams, like I said to you, I was there when you were hosted here in London when you become Iba Gani Adams by Dr. Dakwa Williams, that sponsor and paid for every goddamn thing that was used at that event here in London. I was the only media that was allowed to cover that private section of what took place. And I have witnessed. Prophet Tibetan is still alive. He was on the seat on that day. And like I said, after that, we traveled again with Dakwa Williams, may his soul rest in peace, straight to Ondo State at Akoko, where he was given, a royal welcome, because he was given a title with his wife. But a defamation of character, something that you must understand, because everybody knows, including yourself, who actually killed the late legend we called Uncle Bola Ige. But for the fact that you decided that you will put it in the public domain and drag Igboho's name into the murder of such a very important figure in Yoruba land, and you think that it is going to be a joke, even if Igboho decide not to take this off, that is the reason why Egbe Akpapo Ifelodun have decided that, apart from Igboho taking his law and the case through his legal team, they've also, from the diaspora, decided that it will be all that will go through on the legal way to make sure that justice, it could be long, but we will get justice for Igboho on how you've decided to drag his name in the mud. I will continue to give you the respect as one of the elders within the Yoruba land. And that is why I'm trying to make sure that I do not say anything that you might think that is a disrespecting you as a person, because I am now spokesperson for Igboho. I am not speaking now as spokesperson for Igboho. Like I said, I knew you 2 years clear before I had even the name Igboho. And I also visited your hometown in Ondo State. That shows that there is a kind of relationship that I have, at least with you. And you know that very well. And I told you when I was coming to Nigeria in 2021 that if you also support the vision and the mission of Yoruba Nation, we will give you everything that you needed. You were one of those that we called at the beginning of this movement. You know all what you said on Heritage Television. The transmission is still on air that can be picked up if anybody wants to go and search. You were the first Yoruba man that we called because of your caliber of who you are within the Yoruba land as Iba Gani Adams. But yet, it is so disappointing that even after the means of so many atrocities in Yoruba land that you yourself confirmed, you failed as a leader to lead. And I am not regretting saying that. You failed. Because today, all the atrocity happening in Yoruba land could have been put on a full stop. But we know how this works. Politics is now being mixed with human lives. And the truth is difficult for people like you. Because if you're truthful with us, from the time we called you, that you told us that Yoruba people are not worth fighting for. And yet, we can see the pains of crime against humanity. We are 3,000 miles away, but our heart and feelings of what is happening in Yoruba land continue to bring the truth out of us, and that is why we have not been able to be bought by any single person, because nobody have any evidence to prove that this platform can be brought. And you know that, because I'm sure Dr. Williams will have told you a little bit about me. Because Dr. Williams, that I cannot tell lies on the dead, wanted me to work with the presidency of Buhari, and I refused. In 2015, going to 2016, he pleaded with me, and I told him, no, it is not going to happen. So, let me just put it out again to any of the supporters of Iba Gani Adams. Look at me very well. He knows me, and I know him. I've met him one-on-one. I've met him very close with high-end people like Dr. Williams. Because Dr. Williams was a very popular figure in Nigeria before he died. And may his soul continue to rest in peace. Nobody's perfect in this world. But on the issue of Igboho, you refuse to come out because you feel too big for yourself. But the truth will prevail. Just like Julian Assange. For 14 years, he was fighting for the truth. And the truth prevailed. The truth on Igboho will prevail over you. Fẹ́yìntì gbogbo tí mò ń sọ látẹ̀kàn. Gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ ó lọ bá Ìbà Gani Adams lórí àbùkù tó fẹ́ fi kan olóyè Ìgbòho. Mo sọ pé kí n tó mọ olóyè Ìgbòho rárá ni mo ti láǹfààní àti mọ Ìbà Gani Adams látara ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, olólùfẹ́ mi, tí ikú ẹ̀ ṣì ń dùn mí pé ohun Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè ló mú wọn lọ. Tó ń pè ní Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams ó bẹ̀ mí títí pé kí n darapọ̀ mọ́ APC ní 2015-2016. Mo sọ fún pé no. About 2017, I can't remember exactly, but kò pẹ́ tí ẹgbẹ́ Ìbà Gani Adams tó fi yín joyè. Dr. Williams ló sponsor yín wọ London láti wá ṣe ìtàn pè ní private dinner fún yín. I, OLAYOMI KOIKI, was the media that covered that event. Kò ń ṣe pé mo ń fi àbùkù kàn yín. But èyí tẹ́ ṣe fún Olóyè Ìgbòho, mo sọ̀rọ̀ on behalf of Olóyè Ìgbòho lálẹ́ yìí, mo sọ̀rọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. Nítorí pé gbogbo wa la mọ̀ ẹni tó pa Bọ́lá Ìgè, ìyẹn former Chief Justice of Nigeria. But gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa ikú yẹn, àtẹni tó wà láyé ní wọn ni, àtẹni tó sì láyé ni, àtàwọn tó ṣe gbogbo bí ikú yẹn ṣe wá sáyé. Tí ẹ bá mọ ẹni tó pa Bọ́lá Ìgè, kí ló fa ti olóyè nínú ẹ̀? Kí la gbé dání, kí la jù? Ṣèbẹ́yìn la kọ́kọ́ pè nígbà tá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò yìí lórí Heritage Television. Mo wà lórí ìjókòó níbẹ̀ tí sísítà mi Àbíkẹ́ Erelú tó ṣe interview fún yín. Gbogbo ń tẹ́ sọ rántí náà. Ṣèbí ń tẹ́ sọ fún wa ni pé ìjà ọmọ Yorùbá ò ṣe é gbèjà. A dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ pé ìjà tẹ́ ẹ̀gbẹ́ yẹn, Ọba Elédùmarè tó sọ pé what God cannot do does not exist. Lágbára àwọn tó ní ayé tó lọ́run, lágbára àwọn tí Mùsùlùmí tí wọ́n ń lọ sí Kaaba, tí wọ́n ń tọrọ pé kí ìran Yorùbá kó bọ́, gbogbo ọ̀nà Ọba Ọlọ́run kò fi wá sílẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ìbá náà ṣe, mo mọ̀ tí Aláàfin sọ, but ìyẹn ṣe fún public consumption. Mo ní ó dọjọ́ iwájú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan táwà classify àti classify ẹ̀. Mo mọ̀ tí ikú bàbá yèyé sọ nípa yín. But I will leave that for now. Ṣé máa pé mo tẹ̀lé yín lọ sí Àkókó l'Ondo State látara pé wọ́n fi lọ fi Dàpọ̀ Williams tó ti ṣaláìsí nísìn tó fi lọ joyè. London ni mo ti gbéra tí mo lọ sí Àkókó pẹ̀lú yín, pẹ̀lú Dàpọ̀ Williams. Kò ń ṣọjọ́ kan la ṣe níbẹ̀, kò ń ṣọjọ́ méjì. So tẹ́ bá rò pé bóyá ẹ kàn máa ba orúkọ lóyè jẹ́, a ti pè yín sí ilé ẹjọ́. Ẹ máa gbé àwọn legal team yín dìde, ẹ wá sọ ti yín àti tí ó wà lọ́wọ́ wa. But in ten sọ ní intelligent tó dọ́dọ̀ mi ni pé ẹ ní Olóyè Ìgbòho ló tamper pẹ̀lú fóònù yín. Wọ́n ti wá dọ́ti ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́yìn sọ jáde tí gbogbo ọ̀gbáyé ti gbọ́, tí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tí àwọn ọmọ olóyè lọ́jọ́ iwájú anybody lè sọ pé kẹgbẹ́nu sọ̀hún, ṣèbí bàbá yín ló pa Bọ́lá Ìgè. Abẹ́ ẹ̀mọ́ ń tẹ́ sọ ni. Màá dé mọ́bẹ̀ lálẹ́ ìfẹ́. Àtúpàdé lágbára Elédùmarè nílé ẹjọ́. Mo ti gbọ́ pé ẹ ti kó ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn lọ́ọ̀yà náà tó máa dìde fún yín, no problem. But òtítọ́ bó bá lọ lọ́ní tí ọba lọ lójú ogun, ẹ mọ̀ pé Yorùbá tèmi kò dáadáa. But wọ́n ní tí ọba lọ lógún ọdún, òtítọ́ ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀. Màá ṣàpèjúwe fún yín. Èní ní 26 oṣù kẹfà ọdún 2024. Wọ́n pa arákùnrin kan ní Julian Assange. 14 years ni ó fi ń jẹ́ kó yé wọn pé in tóun sọ pé Amẹ́ríkà ṣe, òun ò ní tún sọ pé wọ́n ṣe, nítorí pé ẹ̀rí ń bẹ níbẹ̀. Látara ẹ̀ wọ́n ti mọ́lé, wọ́n fẹ́ bà tiẹ̀ jẹ́. Bó bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ lénìí, ó ti gba freedom ẹ̀. Olóyè Ìgbòho, orúkọ tí ẹ fẹ́ bàjẹ́ yẹn kò ní bàjẹ́. Bẹ́ bá gbìyànjú ju bí ṣe sọ lọ yìí, bẹ́ bá gbé ẹsẹ̀ kankan lórí mi, àti àwọn èèyàn yín ni, àtẹni tó súnmọ́ yín ni, àtẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín ni. Ẹ mọ̀ pé èmi ò ń ṣe fracas. I am speaking as an independent Yoruba man. Bẹ́ bá dán wò, ẹ máa dán tán ni o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ fún yín. Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ni mò ń jẹ́. Àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé mo mọ̀ yín, mo dẹ̀ tẹ̀lé yín dèlú yín. Tó bá jẹ́ pé nígbà tí mò ń lọ yẹn, bóyá mo wá tí mo lóyè rí ni, àbí bóyá nígbà tí mo mọ̀ yín, mò ń bọ́ lóyè ṣe lẹ́yìn. Ó kù mí, ó kù Ọlọ́run, Elédùmarè tó dá gbogbo wa. And I'll leave it like that. Let's come back to the program. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, and we're giving thanks that we are alive to witness as much of what is happening. Let me take you to another headline. There's nothing called bandit. Forget about all these 419 criminal media that is working on behalf of the federal government that comes up and tell you they're bandit. Nothing is known as bandit, okay? These are full-blown terrorists. Terrorist is a terrorist. And terrorists are there for one reason. But before I even go there, let me appreciate this, our mother, that when you listen to her, you will feel the pain of Abiamo. Some of you have come across our videos, while some of you have not. Also, Dr. Zabi, the chairwoman of the Yoruba World Media, she's got a new YouTube channel. I've been sharing that channel. I'll try to share the link. On behalf of my platform and all my followers around the world, I beg you, Arigide, yes, Arigide in Nakoko. Yeah, thank you so much, my backup team. It was in Arigide. Beautiful place, lovely. I want us to go and follow that particular channel, Mobewani. So I'm going to be sharing the link of that channel later on. Egbawole, just subscribe and follow it, because the only platform that we have to communicate is what we are using right now. We don't have access to a satellite. It's expensive. If I have the money, I will speak to those that I can speak to, and they will give me authorization for satellite. And I know what I can do with it. But for now, we don't have such a money. And as I speak to you, over £350,000 continue to be raised for Julian Assange on his private jet from London to Sapien, the US territory. From Sapien, after the plea bargain, straight to Australia. He has arrived with his family. That private jet cost him $500,000. Continue to say we don't need money, especially those of you that don't understand what the fight is all about. So let's play a snip view. Many of us, we cry for our people back home, because not that it is about us. We are just concerned Yoruba people. Dr. Omomi, a Yoruba woman currently based in America, she has a cancer according to her, but it's not the end of the world. That cancer is still being managed due to the love that God has for her, but not just God alone, also the support of the healthcare system in the United States of America, where she's currently residing. Do you understand that many Yoruba people and many Nigerians are dying because of the negligence of a poor healthcare system? This morning, I got a call from one of our brothers. And when he said I was at UCH, the first thing I asked is, what is wrong with you? Because when people tell you they are going to the hospital in Nigeria, you can tell that a lot could happen before they come back. He said he had some injury on his leg. Remember that this is the same brother that over 6 months now, as one of the forwarding agents that he is in Apapa, he has only got one job in the last 6 months in Apapa. He has returned back to his farm. And as usual, Fulani have destroyed the farm. So he said to me, "Bon, mo wà ní UCH ní Ìbàdàn. Kò síná ní gbogbo hospital. Kò sómi. Mo ní bọ̀ kò jẹ́ kí yẹn jọ́ lójú náà. We know that all the time." He did a small short video just for you to know that that video is not dotted. Many of us are worried about the healthcare system in Yoruba land and across Nigeria. And the next video, she's very, very emotional. She's a mother concerned. At the beginning of the movement, I used to cry a little bit sometimes on the live show. And after a while, I was told, you just have to hold it back. Even if you're going to cry, don't cry on the live show. Sometimes we feel like crying when we are live, having conversation. Because when we remember as many of the different atrocities tí Nigerian commit lé wa lórí, ẹkún á máa gbọ̀n wá, but a máa mú mọ́ra. So the next video, just try not to be emotional with her. It is just the way she feels. I won't play all the video because about 15 minutes, but I've already shared it. But let's just listen to at least the first 3-4 minutes or thereabout.
Ìyà tó fi ń jà àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nígbà kí apànìyàn kó múdà kọjá lórí Ṣèyí àbí Ṣadé àbáwọn ọmọ wọn. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí Fúlàní kó fi adé orí wa, iyì wa, ògo wa kó má fi tàràkà. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run. Mo bẹ̀ yín ni o, ẹ mọ̀ pé tí bá jáde mi ò kí ń bẹ̀ yín, but mo bẹ̀ yín ní orúkọ Ọlọ́run àti nǹkan tó súnmọ́ yín. They hold there. Àwọn ọmọ yín, mo mọ̀ pé àwọn ọlọ́mọ mátà sí yín. Kì í ṣe ipò àbí owó tẹ ní àwọn ọmọ yín mátà sí yín. Ẹ wo ọlá àwọn ọmọ yín. Ìpínlẹ̀ ìwọ ọ̀la yín. Ẹ fẹ́ kí àánú Ọlọ́run kó ràgàdà bò wọ́n. Ẹ ṣàánú àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Referendum lálàáfíà fẹ́ lọ. Bàbá Tinubu ṣe bí àwọn Fúlàní ṣe pa wá yìí ló dá ní. Tó bá wá pa wá tán, àwọn mélòó lẹ́yìn ni wọ́n fẹ́ jọba lé lórí, lè fẹ́ ṣe president lé lórí. Ìlú òyìnbó ni mo wà, bàbá Tinubu jẹ́ kí n sọ díẹ̀ fún yín nínú èèyàn tí mo jẹ́. In the last 24 years, bàbá Tinubu, cancer, pancreatic cancer, ni mo nurse, ẹ̀kíní, ẹ̀kejì, ẹ̀kẹta. Kì í ṣe oògùn táwọn dọ́kítọ̀ fún mi lóòótọ́ ó nípa díẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n agbára Ọlọ́run tí kì í bá àti ó gbé mi dúró. Ó yẹ kọ́ta mi ti kú at the age of 44. Ṣùgbọ́n mi nìyí bàbá Tinubu, ẹ wò mí dáadáa. Tí bá darúgbó, nǹkan tí mo ti go through ni, I am 68 years. Mo ti pé ọmọ ọdún méjìdínláàádọ́rin. Bàbá Tinubu mi ìfẹ́ kú sí Amẹ́ríkà. Ilé tí yọ̀dẹ̀ fẹ́ wá kù ṣe wà. Oògùn tí mo ń lò lóṣù àti abẹ́rẹ́ tí mo ń gbà, ọ̀fẹ́ ni mo ti ń gbà láti 20 ọdún ó lé 4. Kò sí kọ́bọ̀ tí mo sàn. Wọn ò mọ̀ mí, mi ìṣolówó. Mi ìṣolówó bàbá Tinubu. Mi ìdẹ̀ ní position kankan l'Amẹ́ríkà kan bàbá sọ pé senator ni mi àbí kankan. I'm just an ordinary naturalized citizen of this country. But gbogbo oògùn tí mo lò bàbá Tinubu mi ò sọ kọ́bọ̀ láti bí 20 ọdún ó lé 4. Bàbá Tinubu mú wálé lẹ́ẹ̀kan tí ó bá sí ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ Ọlọ́run. Orí ibi tí mo ti ń jẹun ni mo ti pass out bí ìbá ṣe kú nìyẹn. Bí ìbá ṣe kú sí Nàìjíríà nìyẹn. Èló wá ní First Bank ni mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ ọdún 10. 15,000 ló ń fún mi bàbá Tinubu fún pension. 15,000 náà láti August last year. First Bank kò bá sàn. Wọ́n láwọn fẹ́ mọ̀ bóyá mo ṣì wà láyé àbí mi ò sí láyé, mo ti pè mo ti sọ. Bàbá Tinubu. Mo ti parí education as far back as 1983 kí ni mo ń ṣe l'Amẹ́ríkà. Mo sì good health tí mo fẹ́ jókòó tí wàá sílé sí i. Kò sí iṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ fún mi bó ṣe ń teach bàbá Tinubu. Ẹ bá lọ sórí Amazon.com, mo ti kọ̀wé bí oríṣi 8. Tó bá jẹ́ ìlú mi ni mo wà, ṣé ẹ rò pé màmá make more than nǹkan tí mo make bí? Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ gbà wá láyè. Ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà l'abroad, tó wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè àgbègbè àgbáyé, kó wálé kó wá lo ọgbọ́n àti òye wọn. Ibi báyìí ká wà kì í ṣe kó tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. Torí pé a rí bá ti ṣe arọ́nà gbègbà ni. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bàbá Tinubu, mo bẹ̀ yín torí Ọlọ́run. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí Fúlàní sọ ayé wa ní òfò. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó sọ wá dídàkudà. Ẹ ṣe referendum kẹjẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá sọ fún yín, kó tuntun sọ fún yín, òun ni mo ń sọ fún yín. a fẹ́ lọ ilé tó lọ ẹ má ṣe wá ẹ má di àjọrùn mọ́tọ̀ opportunity tọ́lọ́run fún yín yóò fẹ́ kẹ́lẹ́ ó dáadáa ní kẹ́yìn kan lè gba ìdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run kí àwọn ọmọ yín àti ìrọ́dúnrún yín ká máa ṣàdúrà fún wọn bá ṣe ń ṣàdúrà fún bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ mi ní bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ perfect o ṣùgbọ́n àṣìṣe tó ṣe Ọlọ́run ti dáríjì ẹ jẹ́ k'Ọlọ́run dáríjì ẹ̀yin náà ẹ ṣe nǹkan tó tọ́ kẹ́ ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ ẹ gbé ọ̀rọ̀ wa lọ ọ ń pè kọ́kọ́ ní executive order gbogbo ẹlẹ́mọ̀ bàbá Tinubu ẹ ṣe executive order pé ẹ fẹ́ referendum kí olúkálukú lọ jórúkọ fádà ẹ̀ ó ń gbé nǹkan tó ń kọ mí lóminú ní bàbá Tinubu ní àná mo wo lórí afọ́rọ̀ kan níbi tí superintendent Umar ọmọ Fúlàní ni bàbá Tinubu ọmọdé yìí ò lè ju ọmọ ọdún 15 lọ ó ti mú o àti ẹnìkejì ẹ̀ ó wá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pé báwo ló ṣe ń ṣe ó kó ìbọn dání ó ní tóun bá mú àwọn ènìyàn tí wọn ò lówó lọ́wọ́ láti san ransom ó lóun fọ́ra lòun máa pa wọ́n òun á dẹ̀ mú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn bàbá Tinubu vampire làwọn pípù yìí cannibals làwọn pípù yìí ó ń sọ ó rẹ́rìn kò ní rìmọ́ọ̀sì kò ní ronúpìwàdà ó dẹ̀ tún demonstrate ìbọn yẹn ó ń rẹ́rìn bàbá Tinubu ọmọ 25 years old ó ń pa èèyàn ó mú ẹ̀jẹ̀
Moki, I know her, I mean, as a mother and a grandmother, and we have very good relationship in communication. Moki, Dr. Wunmi Lawal. She has been part of the movement since the movement started, just like every one of us were joining. We are not going to force anybody to be part of the movement. But what is going to force us to be part of the movement, I will tell you in a minute. Somebody was asking, what is defamation of character? Ìbanilórúkọjẹ́. Thank you so much, Mr. Oyewo, for explaining that in the comment section. Gbogbo yín náà ni mo rí mo kí yín pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré kí gbogbo àwọn ní ọlọ́jọ́ ìbí ti tèní àti tọ̀la àti tọ̀túnla àti gbogbo eléyìí tó kù tí ọdún máa fi tán. Mo kí brother mi Omeyo, the youth leader of the Yoruba nation back inside Yoruba land, Nigeria today. Mo kí yín dáadáa pé ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìbí. His passion, his dedication, his love is not something you can buy with money. Yes, we need money for so many things. But the passion to Mayor ni, I wish many of us would also have such a passion. So, eba mi ki o Mayor, ente ba wale, you know, as we always say sometimes, you know, if you know him, call him, let us appreciate him, not just financially, but with prayers. And you're aware there should be more as well. So I'm sure you know what that means in the contraction. And please don't, Mawa sọ pé ìwọ náà ìyàwó ẹ̀ bímọ Koiki mo announce it. It's just sometimes we have to for 1 or 2, 3 people. This is not a platform that opens up and say we are donating, we are doing, no, I don't do all that. Intimonshe is more than enough as a freebies. If that is not more than enough, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I have 25 staff. They are working around the clock. I have some of them that are even outside Nigeria that they still need to be supported. I have family as well. I don't have the billions that you might think I have. I don't have the millions. I am not those that you saw yesterday throwing out lavishly money. Most of those money are Nigerian money. But I will not touch that. But everybody knows what I'm talking about. And I don't have to mention names. And if you want me to mention names, I'm talking about the Davido wedding. Every single one of them, from their parents, made the money out of Nigeria when some of us were still sleeping. Some of them worked with the military. That is how they made their money. So tebari táwọn kan tán lavish owó, some of them are in drugs. Èmi ò ṣe drugs, mo dẹ̀ ṣe cocaine, mo dẹ̀ ṣe yahoo yahoo, and I'm not a fraudster. So if you come and say, Koiki, come and give me something, and I don't give you, don't get freak out. I don't have it. So happy birthday once again to our legend. And many of you like that, Ẹ̀yin ìyá mi, Ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, Ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, whether I know your date of birth or not, whether I know your month, I have just classified that from now to the end of the month, we're wishing you happy birthday in advance. Mr. Gbadamosi says, I quote and unquote, thanks to you for the enlightenment. If I'm not doing it, trust me, there will be somebody else that will do it better than me. But for now, I am doing it and I'm trying to improve on a daily basis. Nobody's perfect, but on the movement, don't look for perfection. Koiki, I better get it right in it. No, that is why it's called movement. I will not curse any one of you, especially those of you that disagree with us. But if you come on this platform and put something that I can see, I will curse you. But whenever I'm cursing the politician, stay away. Don't ever. The platform, I don't give a thought, and I'm trying not to use the swear word. It means nothing for those in America. It means nothing for those of us here. But I'm just trying to have sometimes what they call decorum on my platform. Our platform and thousands of you are watching it. But on this platform, we try to have a bit of decorum. But I could be very, very violent on my utterances. And it's my free speech. So let's move swiftly into the discussion again. It's a late night, so I'm just floating around. Moke Olakunle, I have a lot of people that, look, if I have enough, every month, Egba 10,000, Egba 15, it's not a lot, just to support them. But I don't have it. Because if I have it, Mama Shebiabi Kokun Foundation, there's nothing wrong in what it's doing, but could it fix problem in Nigeria? I love what it's doing. And the rest of every one of them as well, without mentioning names. If we set up millions of such Kokun Foundation in Yoruba land across 191 local government, it's not a government. Kokun Foundation is not a government, it's a foundation. Government is what we need. Governance. And that will take us back, Ashiwanino Wiki, even though I've not talked about it, but we all know how we do it on this week to week in. So let's just touch on it. We need a government that works, not the one that, doesn't respect us, doesn't value us. We need a government for the people. But the topic that we're treating, I'm sure you all remember, according to Babakitoye, the good news path to prosperity. Ebamiko meaning prosperity near the Yoruba. Moki Mr. Bankole Clement. Yami Folashade Ojo, Momo Pisheni ko jẹ́ kí n rí yín àti business. Mo mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣé grandma wa okay? Aláwọn àgbàlagbà kan tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà. Ohun àwọn ìyá yẹn pé kò ṣe Amẹ́ríkà làwọn fẹ́ wà mọ́. Grandma làwọn, màmá tí wọ́n tún ń bẹ pẹ̀lú wọn l'Amẹ́ríkà. So probably the mother is about coming up to about same age group pẹ̀lú àwọn bàbá Akíntóyè. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn tó bá ti pé bí 80 yẹn, kò jẹ́ kó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, ní Canada, ní Europe. Ó yẹ kó wà níbi tí àṣeyọrí, so prosperity is àṣeyọrí. Ó yẹ kó ti padà sílé. Mo kí bàbá mi Ṣítù Ọmọ́wùnmí. Bàbá mi Idris Abimbola, assalamu alaikum fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin Mùsùlùmí. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ lọ sí Hajj. Ọlọ́run á gbà oníbàdà fún gbogbo wa. Àtèmi tí mo tí lọ, àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti lọ. Prosperity, òkìkú, mo get Yorùbá yẹn dáadáa o. Bí akẹ́tù bá mi ṣàlàyé, Mr. Michael Adewale. I'm trying to read the Instagram comment. Ahmed Jimo, only the White Lion. You are welcome to the program. Yoruba Nation, most of us stand, inshallah, in Togo, but I'm in Oshogbo right now. Báwo l'Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́? ẹ máa jẹ gbogbo àwọn fresh food yẹn anyway náà Togo ní Africa ni fresh ni frozen làwọn jẹ níbí bàbá láì òkìkí spẹ́lẹ̀ dáadáa lẹ́ẹ̀kan ni òkìkí prosperity mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀tẹ́ ń bẹ ní Togo Waris Jinadu bàbá mi dáadáa ó ní a Yoruba Biafra referendum in the zoo accepted for value but not the only way and the tools to Yoruba self-determination oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà la lè fi gba Yorùbá nation o kò ṣe bí ti Dúpọ̀ ní tìrì o mo sọ fún yín pé Wálé Àlè èmi ò gbọ́ program ẹ̀ lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta but mo ní kòkòrò ń ta lórí if any one of them still talk about all this àtìgbà Yorùbá nation ẹ sọ fún pé kó relocate wá sílẹ̀ Yorùbá kó wá máa pawó Yorùbá náà kò ní di pound sterling mọ́ èmi bí ṣe wà bá ẹ̀mí mi ilé ló wà èmi kàn ń dúró kọ́ sọ pé àbí ó yé yín àwa kan ẹ̀mí wa ilé ló wà kò síkú kan tó máa pa gbogbo wa Kenya lẹ́ ń rí yẹn nísìn Ruto ti back down ó ní òun sign bill yẹn mọ́ nígbà tí pressure bá wà so mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá wa tí ẹ̀ ń tọ́jú àwọn màmá tiyín náà ní Amẹ́ríkà mo kí grandma Ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀dé àwọn màmá dáadáa mo kí mọ́mì mi kan tó pè mí náà ní London wọ́n ní ṣe mọ̀ pé mi ní ẹ̀gbọ́n ìyá Kazeem mo ní mo mọ̀ gbogbo yín ni mo mọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ ṣe dúró tì wá tẹ́ra àgàbò wá tí wọ́n ń ṣe ìtẹ̀tù wá sọ pé àròlé Odùduwà oníwàhálà bó ṣe ń lọ ló ń máa rí ẹ o mo rẹ̀ rọ́wọ́ yín lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta ẹ fún mi lówó o ẹ ṣáà ń ṣiṣẹ́ London ẹ fún wa lówó náà kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ brọ́dà mi. ṣe rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ta gbé Yorùbá nation dání àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé wa tajọ́ ń ṣe lóòótọ́ àwọn kan ti ní irọ́ lápá a ní Yorùbá nation máa dé lánàá kò dé lánàá ìrìn àjò ní ó wù mí pé kí bàbá Akíntóyè ti make a declaration bó ṣe ká declare kó defeat wa ìbéèrè ni o ṣé ká declare kẹ́ ṣe máa sọ pé Koiki ẹ̀dẹ̀ ní ti declare Yorùbá nation ṣebí nǹkan tá a sọ pé kí gbogbo wa ṣe kí ni ká wà in one uniform ká dúró dáadáa tá a bá tẹ̀ ní 60,000 intalifija kì í má tó ìyàwó mi tẹ̀ fẹ́ máa jẹ́ kí n máa sọ gbòòyàn náà anyway but mo kàn yẹn mo ṣe fọgbọ́n gbé bẹ́yẹn mo kí ẹ Tokyo ẹ yẹ ká rántí pé the power of the people àwọn olóṣèlú yóò pọ̀ ẹ̀yin lẹ́rù pé wọ́pọ̀ but mo understand Koiki ta ló máa lead wa ìwọ náà wá lead wa ó dà gbogbo àná làjọ máa lead ara wa kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń tìyàn kankan lọ anywhere. We are all involved. We are all in this together. I can speak for myself. We are all in this together. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mi ò máa like practical. Ìyàwó mi oúnjẹ tó ṣe ó ṣì wà kitchen. Bí a ti bá parí tí táwọn ọkùnrin mi bá sọ pé bí ń pa mí mo diet mo dẹ̀ gbàwẹ̀ màá lọ jẹun tó ṣe fún wa wà kitchen. But èyí tí mo sì jẹ látọ̀sán kò tí digest ó sì ń lọ nínú ó dẹ̀ lè jẹ́ fruit ni máa kọ̀ mú ṣé àwọn doctor máa jáde ní sani àwọn nọ́ọ̀sì kan wà ní sani Koiki yé máa jẹun alẹ́ kò dáa kò sí gbogbo kan náà ni kò dáa tó bá ti ń pọ̀ jù náà ni ọmọ ṣe bí bàbá dáadáa kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ so ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàgbọ́ pé ìrìn àjò yìí ó ju ọgbọ́n gbogbo wa lọ but Elédùmarè Ọlọ́run òun ló ń pilot ẹ̀ what we have done àwa gan a lè emphasize government lambaja wà láìtàláì símọ̀ bí láì làzílà hùwà government ni kò sí government kan tó kéré tó fẹ́ jẹ́ kó dá ìrìn àjò ń rù we are fighting a government and when you are fighting a government you must expect everything. Government lówó. Ẹ mọ iye owó tí government ní ni. So the reason why most of our grandmothers tó ṣì wà labroad tó yẹ kó ti padà sílé because tó bá délé wá ní mo kí Mr. Salaudeen Ayọ̀lá gbogbo ẹ̀ tí ìbá ti dárúkọ gbogbo iná mo kí Mr. Lukman Ọláìdé mo kí sà mo kí ẹ Ọpẹ́ Wàsíù at some meaning of defamation of character. Mr. Jaye TV, Honorable Kofoworayi, Oladele Muki, Prince Adeshitu, Modeki Ubao Media as well, Otumbala Milekon, Egbomi Simon Adebisi Muki Ubi, from Russia to Alimosho. Kò síbì kankan tí ó dájú orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa lọ. But látara màdàrú tó ṣe, látara ìkà tó ṣe, òun ló gbé wa débi tá wà lénìí. And that is the reason why we are all struggling to make ends meet. Kí lọ̀nà àbáyọ? Now, you want to believe in one Nigeria. Kí lọ̀nà àbáyọ? Okay, Tinubu máa fix it. Ìyàwó mi ni we stay together. Àbúrò bòye dé sí. Ìyàwó àtọmọ ń kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Mr. Ezekiel, and every one of you are all important. Bishop Adesina Otojo Meta, even though I sent some things to Bishop this morning, ìjà tá ń jà is spiritual ni o. Spiritual. And lot is going to happen. I am not here to sell you any religion. I am here to sell you self-determination. But things happen from the spiritual realm. Koto Desale. Yoruba Matu Kulara Nigeria. Àwọn tó ń hold ẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Nigeria yẹn, population gbogbo wọn tó 5 million. And they are trying their best. Tí bá ti fẹ́ ka comment mo ṣe máa ń wọ sáré wọ gíláàsì. Akémoye Ayọ̀délé Mokẹ́, Adéwálé brother mi, báwo la lè mọ̀ṣọ́? Ṣé gbogbo yín ṣì ń ṣe meeting? Ẹ má ṣe pàdé yẹn. Tokyo ni the only way out is to break up. There's no doubt about it. Àfi tí àkọ́bá ń parọ́ fún yín. Mo fẹ́ pick comment kan tí mo fẹ́ fẹ́ ọkàn fóònù yẹn ni. Mo kí brother mi Ṣọlá Jacob. Wọ́n ní bàbá mi, it has been a long time I join your live video. Kò wọ́n send notifications yín ni. Ẹ̀yin ni kẹ́ wá make sure pé ẹ wá wa rí. Platform tá fi ń stream pọ̀. Tó bá jẹ́ pé Instagram ló máa fún yín ní notification, ẹ join Instagram yẹn, ẹ wá lọ máa join platform tó kù. Tó bá jẹ́ pé orí MixLR, ẹ join ẹ̀. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé orí Twitter, and I appreciate those of you on the Twitter that are watching live, and I'm also live on the Twitter space. MixLR is live, even though on in and out. Akede Mokia. And shout out to our brothers from the Biafra side. They are not perfect. They have their own agenda, they have their own mission. But let's have separate countries. I've just told you about Bolivia. Bolivia is 12 million. There's a coup. Benny, hello, follow me lórí Instagram. Instagram méjì ni mo run. Though mo it is turn a on because I should need the spare phone again. And I'm not using the software. I have access to the free phones. But if I pay phone, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 phones. I've been streamed by anything. So, and sometimes I love the phone. He's a lazy guy that wants to use the phone. But with the software, you can do a lot of background. You can be showing all those scenarios. But this is just my open background. Economy gbogbo wa. Ẹ máa wo àwa tá wà labroad bí a special being. Moki Grammar Lay Ajayi ẹ káàbọ̀ mà. Lóòótọ́ ẹni tó wà labroad wọ́n ti oppress yín. But ẹni tó wà Nàìjíríà àwọn kan gbádùn gidi. Whether owó drugs ni, whether normal money ni. Àwọn èèyàn jayé lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà nísìnyí tí wọ́n kí nǹkan táwa ń sọ. But àwa ń wo future pé ayé tó ń jẹ yẹn ó lè end within the space of 1 hour. I am not here to ẹni tó bá kú ẹ wo ẹni tó ń kú nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe committee hearing. Custom officer kan tó ń slump ó dẹ̀ dákẹ́. Are you gonna drink tea? Èèyàn kú lọ. Ọ̀nà ọ̀dẹ̀ ló mọjọ́ tí a máa kú. Kọ́lọ̀ kó fún gbogbo alẹ́mí gbogbo. We all know the revolution is the last solution and a way out, but we don't know how it will happen. It's only a fool that believes that President Tinubu makes better changes in Nigeria. He can't do anything good. The Fulanis can't allow Yoruba to grow until their crisis for every tribe to grow. Sultan of Sokoto, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, mo máa mix orúkọ yín tẹ́lẹ̀ bí obìnrin, but mo àti mọ̀ra dáadáa nísìn. Oyè Ronke yẹn ló máa ń fún mi ní confusion because Ronke tèmi máa ń mọ̀. Ó ní sister wa kan tájọ wà London mi báyìí, obìnrin ni. So, but nígbà tí mo ti pè yín lọ́bìnrin títí lẹ́ni, Koiki ọkùnrin ni mí. Mo kí yín sẹ́ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Only God bless you for the enlightenment. You will not be tired. Olórí àdúrà o. Because ẹni tó bá rẹ̀ kò ní lè ṣe ogun tá à ń ṣe yìí o. Àlàáfíà, strength. Ẹ máa wọ́n dà pé bọ́wọ́ ìṣújú jáde lálẹ́ mi. Mo sùn díẹ̀ wàláì. Pálọ̀ bíbá mo nà gbalasa ni mo sùn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó yẹ pé ó ṣẹ̀ bímọ ni. Àbẹ̀ tó lóyún. Woman nìyí kẹ́ ọ̀dà. Bí a mo tuntun mix in pẹ̀lẹ́ lómi nìyẹn o. Mo mọ̀ pé orúkọ yẹn woman ni ẹ ṣe gan ni. Ó rà pé mo mix it pẹ̀lú somebody else. Apology for that, mommy mi. Gbogbo wa náà ni, apart from that attention Yoruba nation, what makes you think that Nigeria can succeed the way it is going? Thank you so much, Mercy Alfred. I know some people like, Koiki, stop this Yoruba. We are enjoying the program. Biafra can cover better man. This boy, we enjoy your program. We go just put Yoruba inside. But that is what we are now. We love our Yoruba. Yemi Fatoki Moke. There's a lot going on in Nigeria that you will ask yourself, is this country, Tani Mombasoro ni, Momba grammar consoro America, which any country, on a Koiki, oh no. Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is nations of different people. Share one yibo, let it show some money lati reduce voice media. Share one yibo, the English people or the Western world. What they've done is that they've given us this impression that should we try to change the narrative of Nigeria, we cannot succeed. Once again, thank you so much, our mother, Mrs. Oyeronke Olaniyan. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate every single one of you. The current state of Nigeria as it stands right now, let me give you this headline. This is Sarah Reporter, okay? Showore. Our own Omoyele Showore. I love him, and I respect him. You don't have to agree with everything around him, but at least he's putting his life on the risk. For what? That's the question. Because sometimes people are asking, why are you doing this? Why? Because some of you don't understand that every one of us, we're putting our life at the risk of whatever can happen. We're fighting the federal government, not fighting with weapons, violent, but we are fighting in a way that they've never seen it before. I don't think some of you know that sometimes, I mean, the intelligence that comes to us with the people that work with them, they are drivers. And Mr. Koiki, Timo mix up I think that's I want to mix up. Yeah, there are drivers that call us. I won't tell you which of the states. And Mr. Koiki. If I go on what I son no moto, Nick by intention Yoruba nation and again also. Some of you don't know what they're talking about. They are very concerned that we are keeping the awareness and the education. Àwọn nǹkan táwa náà ń sọ nípa like Bolivia now. Kí ni mo fi máa sọ̀rọ̀ Bolivia telephone? I mean, even if just, but now we look at Bolivia. Bolivia is 12 million. Straight away we calculate it. Lagos is 20 million. Why is Lagos not a country? That is it. Sherry, the question you should ask yourself is, when you look at the population, yesterday we talked about the British High Commission releasing a statement. There was one country among those that released that statement. If anybody remember, yeah, I have it here. And I can show you at the background anytime Lori laptop. Do you know that when I finish my live, I upload my video back again on the Twitter, which is X, then I upload it again on the YouTube. Please help us to continue to, push our platforms. It's not because we need money on it. It's not giving us any money, but it's just to help us get the message, to more people. And Tebawa Sori program, 101 people are watching, only 18 have thumbs up. And when we say thumbs up, what we are literally saying, or what we are saying is that comment section with thumbs up. No, you come out of the program, then you go and click the thumbs up, and then you share it, and then you come back into the comment section. But when you're in the comment section right now, you will not see it. Appreciation to all our beautiful sisters. Emma Wore, to my friend, BT brother Watoshe Olano, to my Sile. And shout out to my brother Lege. He's doing his best. Lege Miami. Let's come back to the program. Yesterday, we all saw the update. I want to feel Koti Shami. Am I can down sister me? Mutiri Moti Shami. Ọkọ ìyàwó. Àdúrà tó yẹ kí yàn gbà láti fẹ́ ni yàn gbọ́dọ̀ marry. Especially culture tiwa nìyẹn. Nígbà tá ń ṣe àwọn tó ń bára wọn sùn. Tó jẹ́ àwọn méjì ọkùnrin obìnrin sọ́bìnrin ká má fi gbẹnu sọ̀rọ̀. So gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wá ọkọ, Ọlọ́run á fún yín lọ́kọ rí. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wá yàwó, Ọlọ́run á fún yín rí. But àwọn tí ó níyàwó, ìyàwó wà ní Amẹ́ríkà, ọkọ wà Nàìjíríà. Ayé yẹn ò smooth. Lóòótọ́ ọkàn àbíyàwó ń send owó sọ́kọ. Ọkọ akọ máa gbé àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké kan máa fi ṣe fàájì, a máa fi nàgẹ̀rẹ̀. A máa fi nàgẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ́bọ̀. Bíyàwó náà bá dẹ̀ rò pé àwọn obìnrin tẹ̀ máa ń try náà. Ẹ̀mẹ̀ ká lọ sí rí àyẹn. Má da program because ìtẹ́lómi tí ẹ̀ gbogbo tá à ń sọ nísìn kò ní gbọ́n kankan mọ́ báyìí nísìn. Let's come to the program itself. Yesterday, there was a communique. Kí ló ń pè ní communique? Press release. Kí ló ń pè ní press release? Àgbájọwọ́ nǹkan kan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tó fi sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. There was a joint statement coming out from Kenya yesterday by the Canadian High Commission, the Royal Danish Embassy, the Yoruba Embassy, Omawaye Nijokon. That is the way we should be thinking. Ẹ̀yin náà lè lọ jẹ́ representative wa lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la. Ọ̀la tí mò ń sọ kò ń ṣe ní 20-30 years o. Tàbá serious lórí movement yìí ni o. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí tàjọ́ ń comment yìí àtàwọn tó disagree. If we think that you are qualified to go and represent Yoruba Embassy, you will go and represent us. So don't look at it from the point that if we get Yoruba country, is it going to be the same thing like Nigeria? No, it can't. When I came to this country in 1998, 24 years ago, so many upgraded things have been done. Most importantly, when the police stop you in 1998, Akoni, come out of the car. Are you got driver license? They can check your license straight away as at that time. But insurance, they will tell you to go and take it to the nearest police station in your house. What am I trying to say is that law ofin govern gbogbo wa. We have been one of those that are fighting for Yoruba nation. If there is any reason that we commit any crime in the Yoruba country, we would have to be facing the justice system. You would not get all these in Nigeria today. Nigeria is taking us backwards. Could move lọ síwájú. Yes, things will still be happening. It's still a country. I saw the news already, but I appreciate my brother Ogbeni Bobby. Ibadan have now been upgraded the airport to international airport. That means Tinubu is making effort, at least maybe, because Buhari should have upgraded it to international airport. I don't think some of us understand that every state, Nile Yoruba, should have nothing less than 4 airports, 2 local and 2 international. Do you agree with me? Okay, Kayo de Mukinsa. Mr. Martins Yusuf, Nigeria is in hell right now. We need a Yoruba nation like urgently. Let me come back to all this embassy. Ìkànnà embassy no trigger brain me. Don't pè ní Estonia. I have talked back to back lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Estonia. Ṣé àwọn olú tí mo dárúkọ yàtọ̀ sí UK, America, probably Canada. Canada tóbi gan. Kódà èèyàn kan sọ pé Koiki abẹ́ẹ̀ ní bá Canada sọ̀rọ̀ ká tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ lọ start country níbẹ̀. Wọ́n ní ilẹ̀ bí ọmọ tó fẹ́ fi ṣe. Bọ̀ òtútù ló máa ṣolú ẹ̀ léṣe. Òtútù tó ń bẹ níbẹ̀ kò ṣe kékeré rárá. Oatman Cherry, I agree with physical therapy, but it doesn't help me with the anxiety of depression that I'm feeling. Kileleke, Mbolele ti jáde. I don't need distraction. But don't need anybody to come and distract us here. We are gidi ni. Ẹja àgbà kúrò lórí platform. Gbọ́n kan tí mò ń sọ. Èèyàn kan ti sọ wípé Koiki ẹ jẹ́ ká bá Canada sọ̀rọ̀ ká lọ set up country síbẹ̀ for now. Wọ́n ní ilẹ̀. Wọ́n ọ̀rẹ́ èèyàn kò síbẹ̀. That is why Canada is still. Ẹ má worry gbogbo immigration Guinea. They need people. But let's come back to why it is important that Yoruba nation should happen now with a better government in place. And I think if Bishop wants to call in, please, you can call in, I'll allow you to, call in and, if you have anything to come and join us, or somebody else. I know Bishop is always have something to discuss, and I always want to give him the preference. Bishop is the creator and the person that established Ruba. Some of you have been calling, Ruba, she Central Bank Yoruba. No. It's just a platform that was set up to protect our money. Because the money in Nigerian bank account, anything can happen. And I have something to link to that straight away. So the topic that we are treating as at this week, let me tell you what we've talked about so far. We've talked about we are in a nation with a proud root and a proud history. Number 2, and in independent Nigeria, we have suffered serious decline and agony. Ojekani 4 airports, ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, 2 international, 2 local. Ṣé wá rí international yẹn kò ń ṣe irú àwa lẹ̀ expect. You're expecting everybody. Eléyìí tí mo fi sí rẹ̀ látàárọ̀. Mo fi kọ́kọ́ gbé ńlá yìí mo rí pé kékeré yẹn náà ló dá. Ṣé rí eléyìí tí mo gbé sọ́rùn yìí when we have a Yoruba country, we are all going to be millionaires in Yoruba currency. You might be asking me, Koiki, sure. I know that Orotan soy, it might look like Koiki, but she's soft more Nigeria no madam, but it is the foundation. We will have a system of government, which is the topic that I'm treating on. We shall revive and strengthen our education. Education, like Yoruba is completely destroyed. It is deliberate. Loto eshin lokawe, but ebasheton bi babalekiti. Many of you are coming out, but they are not providing the industry. Because if 1 million, let's say 500,000 Yoruba people graduate, and that 500,000 konishe, another 500,000 tumbo in the next year, another 500,000. That is the reason why we have 60% of the youth out of job. ṣé a nílẹ̀ láti ṣe production ni ṣé a nílẹ̀ láti produce ni láti convert airport mẹ́rin tí èrò máa dà wáyé láti gbogbo àgbáyé. They will visit Yoruba land, but nobody will visit a Yoruba land that is caught insecurity today. A Yoruba land to my visit is a Yoruba land that they can go into the hotel, the air condition is working, it has a multi-one hotel kan rí one nínú ẹ̀, that has a standard that will give them our culture, that will sell them our food, that will then tell them that a ní Ìdànrè Hill, a ní Olúmọ Rock, a níbi tí Ìkọgọ̀sì àbí whatever it's called, and so many other things. Ìyá mi Oyèrónkẹ́ ní ọmọ, sometimes there's 50 degrees in Canada, ó ti tutù ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ, wọ́n manage ni. Ẹ má ro wọ́n bí ṣe fẹ́ Yorùbá mi ò bá ti ń sọ Yorùbá lọ tẹ́ àdẹ̀gbọ́ dáadáa báyìí. Don't look at it from the point that Yorùbá nation wọn lọ́nṣẹ́. No, look at it as something serious. Lóòótọ́, life continues in Nigeria, but it is affecting millions of people that cannot make ends meet. It's not the leadership. It is a faulty foundation, like somebody say, 36-story building built on a bungalow. Ó máa collapse náà gbẹ̀yìn ni. We've talked about, first and foremost in our orílẹ̀-èdè Yoruba, we shall seriously revive our national character. Ọmọlúàbí ni wá. In as much as you might say, Koiki, ìwọ ọmọlúàbí, ìwọ tó ọmọlúàbí kàn sí lára ẹ̀, gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ, ìjàngbara là ń jà. Kò ṣeré ní Moscow. Nínú ìjàngbara, everything goes. Everything goes. Ìtọ́sí ń pè ní ìjàngbara nìyẹn. But we all have character in us. And I think there's a caller coming through. Let's go straight and pick that call. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Okay. Call yẹn ti. Oh. Mo ń bọ̀. Okay. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Mo ń bọ̀. Back end tèmi ló ń pè mí. Because mo ń lo the other phone. So can you please explain in a WhatsApp message? Because the other phone is being used. So I could send message. I might be knowing you are. All right, I'll just leave it, see what happened. So, it is important that many of us understand that our youth development program will transform our nation. The youth in Nigeria today, they've what is sheka fún yín àtèmi àtẹ̀yin. Wọ́n tẹ̀ rí wa bí èèyàn. Wọ́n rí wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó máa wá tọrọ lọ́wọ́ wọn. I like map me abi. Yeah, let's leave it like that on the table. That we have to come to them and beg. Kò jẹ́ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọmọ kan lọ sí Spain. Let me get the story very right. Missing British teenager. And tó bá wà ní UK máa mọ story tí mo fẹ́ gbé jáde. According to update coming now, Jill Slater missing. Latest local report team watching Euro 24 match in Tenerife after last contact. Ó lọ sí Spain. You see the importance of our country. I am not talking about your Nigeria, okay? And I'm going to come back again to Estonia. A country is meant to value Okay. Okay, picture my sister me, Dr. Kemi lawyer, or lost screenshots in it. Let me put that out number. Thank you so much. Can't remember when this was. So a picture was sent to me right now. How do I even get that picture out? Okay, number. No, very carry so number to save it. Dr. Kemi Olunloyo. I take part the program. No, not barely tell her. Because she video and money picture. I will be a date one in bed. This was Dr. Kemi Olunloyo and myself. You can see her, a very brilliant investigative journalist. And right underneath, she pinned it, donate to good journalism. Many independent media depends on people like you. That is myself and my beautiful sister. I haven't spoken to her for some time now, but we do, communicate behind the curtains. Well learned. Thanks so much, the back end team. That was in 2020. I've been given the date. That was 15th of March 2020. 15th of March 2020. Myself and Dr. Kemi Olunloyo. The father was a commissioner, intelligent man in mathematics. Let me come back to why I said that if we have a country, that country should respect every one of us. Whereas, everything infrastructure should be one priority at a time. No good road, they start building airports. And it's talking about the Ibadan upgraded airport. Only Ibadan airport will be international. So, Enyama Ibadan, your state, Amalo Kioloyegbo, so Tabatira ticket. I go straight lọ sí Ìbàdàn. Ìtọ́sán yẹn bí tíṣe Tinubu máa fi lọ irọ́ ló wà ńbẹ̀. You would think that plane máa land síbẹ̀ in another 1 year tó ń bọ̀ láti Europe because n tó ń pè ní international nìyẹn. That means pé n tó wà ní Ìbàdàn ò ní láti lọ board lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. N tó ń pè ní ṣé British Airways máa land níbẹ̀? They play. All these governors are not having our interest at hand. You're going to build that airport for international. You're going to upgrade it to the international level because local Oshiwa. Let's come back to Julian Assange. Ìyàwó mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ nípa Julian Assange lẹ́nu ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ṣe ń wò láti inú private jet yẹn kò easy. Òkìgbà tó dé Bangkok lẹ́wọ̀n kan sọ fún mi pé Bangkok lọ tẹ̀lé fuel akọ̀mọ̀ àwọn gbogbo ẹ̀ bá máa jọ lójú ni. Sí nǹkan tó dàbí freedom. Ó regain freedom after 14 years tó ti há sí ní UK. Ó ṣe pé kò níwèé bí irú tàwa tẹ́ pé nígbà táwa ń wáwèé la fi pẹ́ o. Mádé ẹ̀kẹ́ni kankan fúnlẹ̀, if you're not born in this country, you go through immigration. It's not a disease. So, this young British citizen, almost 19 years old, ó ti pé ọ̀sẹ̀ kan ní tí tó ti ń wà ní Spain, wọn mọ ibi tó sọnù sí. Ọlọ́mọdé sọmọ nù, ẹ̀sọ́ àmì. Àwa tá rẹ̀ tí ibi ta fẹ́ bí, kọ́lọ̀ ń jẹ́ kí a bí, kó má dẹ̀ sọnù mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Jay Slater, missing. It's a late night, so I'm just moving in different direction. Jay Slater, missing. Níbo ló lọ, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Missing bí ti báwo. Kẹ́kẹ́ course, Onami. The mayor says police have received several reports of the British 19-year-old watching football on the island. That is the latest update, because in time he got missing, but information is not to spot it with football. So that is the latest development. We see how that goes. But according to the Spanish police, I've spoken to several people who said they may have seen Jay Slater watching the Euro 2024 matches after his last contact with a friend, a local mayor has said. Emilio Joseph Navarro, the mayor of the town of Santiago, said officers have interviewed a number of people who believe they saw the 19-year-old. Police are now examining grim CCTV footage from the town. Every part of Yoruba land should be secured with CCTV. As we speak tonight, time is 18 minutes past 12 midnight. Gbogbo le Yoruba ó jẹ́ kó wà under CCTV radars to prevent crime, to support the road infrastructure, because M25 bó ṣe wà yẹn, camera wà níbẹ̀ to monitor. If there's a problem there, they deploy people there. Camera gbọ́dọ̀ wà ní this, wà ní that. So one of my, but this is just the latest of the, but tele as at last week and as at few days ago, what it deploy every goddamn thing. Gbogbo nǹkan pátá. No, YouTube channel, YouTube. As at yesterday, apart from the latest news, we were not spot any beacon, which they might, but in terms of the US Today is a very powerful newspaper in America known as the US Today News. English team. English. Because, you know why? UK is divided into three. Tobani, British citizen, Oshi work. One English. Tobajamo Scottish no lo sonu. One is Scottish. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká sọnù. Táwa bá sọnù nísìn kí ló máa sọ wọ́n ní Nigerian. Ìdí tá ṣe ń sọ pé kí ló dé tí wọ́n change àwa tí àwọn dẹ̀ lo true identity tiwọn. That itself alone is more than enough for us to say àṣẹ Nigeria mọ́. That identity theft. But nítorí pé àwọn èèyàn wa wọ́n ní no, Koiki, it doesn't matter. Let's stick to the identity tí a ní nísìn tó ń pè Nigeria, and let's try and work around it. Look, man, listen sáwọn elite yìí tó ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Púpọ̀ nù wọn bí ṣe sọ inú Nigeria ni wọ́n ti develop owó wọn. Èyí tó fi Nigeria develop, ó fi Nigeria, ó fi commit crime tó wà involved. Wọ́n ti wá tètè move owó yẹn sínú nǹkan míì. Ọmọ tó ń pè ní, ta ló mọ̀ tó ń pè ní clean money? Or owó tó ń wash. Ta ló mọ̀ meaning ẹ̀? Ẹ̀pọ̀ àwọn owó kan wà máa ń wash ẹ̀. Kò yẹ, ṣé ń ṣàlàyé? Òun wo movie ni. Àwọn owó kan wà drug money ni, but wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ wash owó yẹn kó lè di legit money. Nigeria is all over the world as well, but I am just focused about Nigeria. So when then man rí pé big man, big boy, ó ṣe ra Rolls Royce, ó ṣe ń go Bentley, ó ṣe ra BMW, àtọbìnrin wọn àtọkùnrin wọn, wọ́n wash owó ni. But what he wash owó yẹn into whatever industry. Most industry tó máa ń lò fi wash ẹ̀, òun náà ni hospitality, hotel, clubs, restaurants. Àwọn ibi tó mọ̀ pé wọ́n ra ọtí 20 million níbí ìbà lálẹ́. Who's going to dispute it? So owó drug tó bá wọnú bẹ̀ yẹn wá dá padà, wá gbé sínú bank, ó di legit money. Adam our trainers to that. Music industry. I'm not here to castigate anybody in that sector, but these are industries that wash money goes in. So let's focus on this 19 years old. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, ìwà máa pé kí ni ọmọ 19, kí ló kí ló kúrò ní UK tó lọ sí Spain tó bá ti pé 16 nílò your adult. First tripper jáde kúrò ní UK nìyẹn ó ti sọnù but wọ́n náà ti spot ẹ̀ ní sí that's a different. Let's just English team bá America ṣe kọ news yẹn jáde nìyẹn. Idris gan ní gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí ń lo skit maker nísìn but gbogbo wọn náà ti ra mọ́tò, àwọn ti kọ́lé, àwọn ti ra lẹ̀. I don't know. Jay Slater, a 19-year-old from the northwestern English county of Lancashire. Ẹ máa wo báwọn ṣe ń phrase ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Wọ́n tó bá jẹ́ pé ọmọ Nàìjíríà kan ló sọnù nísìn, wọ́n á kàn ní a Nigerian got missing. Nígbà tó yẹ kó ẹ sọ pé a Yoruba man, a 19 ẹ jẹ́ kí n kàn sọ pé Olúmídé, a 19-year-old from Ibarapa province rather, in Yoruba land got missing. But today, they will tell you we should stick to Nigeria. The 19-year-old was last heard from láti June 17 ni wọ́n ti ń wá. Kó tó di pé update sọ nísìn pé wọ́n spot ẹ̀ pé òun wo football lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Or female or male Yoruba missing. So, after attending what they called the NRG Music Festival, he told a friend he was lost in the mountain. And those places, sometimes anything can happen. Koda ono un injury. And if as at yesterday, what theory, chances are slim there. But in my favor, the British teenager has been missing for over 1 week. How many people are missing in Nigeria today by the kidnap of the Boko Haram? Do you know how many Nigerians will be kidnapped and then hypocrisy àwọn Western world òun ló lọ nǹkan yẹn. Wọ́n rí àwa, wọ́n value wa, àwa la máa lọ value ara wa. Àwa la máa decide pé no. It shouldn't be like this. I am not saying that the one person is not a human being, but do you know how many Nigerians will be kidnapped and then the world keep mute and nobody says anything, and they expect us to remain in that contraction country, a country that does not value the citizen. Shemokwele got missing outside the country, but we are having Nigerians getting missing in Nigeria and nobody talks about it because we are not valued as human beings to them. This program will just be 2 hours and we've done 1 hour 38 minutes just to have, how far we left to go. The British teenager was attending a music festival, but he has been missing for over a week after attending a massive rave party on a trip to Spanish island of Tenerife. And his family is desperate to find him. How many families are desperate to find their loved ones in Nigeria, and yet the government refused to work on it? So let's take the call from Bishop Adeshina to guide us for a few minutes, and then we will start, looking into, I think, his network. Let's hope it comes back in. Hello, Bishop.
Yeah. Ekaleo.
Ekale,
Yeah, kudos. Yoruba nation we stand, and by the grace of God, Yoruba nation will be one of the best in the world when it comes to lamplight. And in Africa, all these Western countries, we have to queue to have relationship, partnership with Yoruba nation to be relevant. This is actually what is their fear. It's called African phobia or the black skin phobia. They know the potential of what is in Africa, and most especially in Nigeria. And they know there are some of the African people that are intelligent and brilliant. So they know that if we give these people this leverage and chance, the Western world will eventually become beggar in the couple of 50 years in the future. So they don't want that. Now, that is not a fault to the Western world. In business, you look for leverage to suit you, to profit you. Àwọn alákọ̀ọ́rí tó jẹ́ slave master ti wà nínú bí. Àwọn ọmọ àlè tó wà nínú bí. That's the problem. They are the one messing Africans and Yoruba. Let me be specific on Yoruba now. Messing Yoruba up. They are the one messing Yoruba up. And that's the reason they've degenerate morality and degenerate competence. They've degenerate everything that you can call professionalism to party appointments, party politics and so. So, but all these things is to show us, because Yoruba nation will come. But as we are agitating, as we are rising up, speaking to power, we should also open our eyes and note all these things down. While we are complaining, while we are agitating, those things we see that are wrong, we note it down, we research solution and make it ready. That is what a lot of us are doing there at home. Rather than complaining, we complain, we research and provide solutions. We know the solution is not for them to fix, so we reserve it so that when the power now shifts, we know the better way to run the government and not the other way around, the way these ones have messed things up. Now, from my perspective, the work that has been on ground that submitted to Baba and Baba is an archive. A lot of people have a lot of what to say. Yoruba nation will be like this. Yoruba nation will do this. Government, Yoruba nation. There is a proper and structural ways of going about governance. Now, in governance or government of a nation, there are types of government and also there are forms of government. Now, a country can use two at the same time. And in fact, most countries use the two at the same time, including during the military time. You cannot use one type of a government, even in a monarchical type of government. A monarchical type of government is a government whereby it is a king that rules the entire land, like the whole time, ancient time, where the king. But in spite of that, some kings are military in form. So we have a monarchical type, but a military form. Some kings are not military in form. Some kings are democratic in form. So we have monarchical, and we have a kind of like the way we have OLAYOMI and all that. That's like a confederation where all other Yoruba aspects, in aggregation with Oyo, and they were giving little Ishakole, just like that. So some country can use 3, some country can use 2, but at least minimum a country can use 2 at the same time. Now, we studied Yoruba and we realized, looking at the hordes that we've gone through in Nigeria, the best and peaceful way is, number 1, a federal system of government. That's type of government. Federal system of government. Now, apart from federal system of government, the form of the government will be parliamentary forms of government. Why? The reason is because go and search all the countries that have Oriade, that have kings, as a primarily owner of the land and ruler. The structure of government is parliamentary, so that the kings can be inculcated into the political operation or authority. It's parliamentary once there are kings. But countries where you don't have kings, where is the no man's land, like United States of America, some other country in Europe like that, that they don't have king and all that, they can have a presidential form of government. That's why presidents are regarded with all the authority, like he's a king, he's everything. So that's where Nigeria makes it up. Having a presidential forms of government, subjugate the kings, the owners of the indigenous land and the people under some set of political or who give no regard. So it is an appellate for impunity. That's one for. So what? So apart from a type of government of federalism type, we will also have a form of government of parliamentary, not presidential. If not, we will replicate Nigeria in Yoruba land. So because Omalade Niwa, we have kings and rulership. So, and one of the case study is Sweden. They have the parliamentary system of government because there is a king. They have kings there, and they inculcate the kings, the royalty, into the political, they say, as a ceremonial president. So, and we have they have the federalism also type of government where everything to their local government it's autonomous. It's autonomous. So so these are even Nigeria. When Nigeria was having military government, it's a military type of government, but they run a military federal form of government. That's why they give authority to all those military states, governors. The governor of a state is autonomous according to the military. Is autonomous according to them. So they give and they inculcate some civilians into their military, this kind of thing. So it's always like that. So a country cannot just run one system. You run a type of government and a form with it. Some even have three, like United Kingdom. United Kingdom being a monarchy existing nation, they run a parliamentary form of government. At the same time, United Kingdom is more like a even confederation type of government. The federal system is even more like a confederation because you have Wales. The Wales have their autonomy all together. You have the England, the autonomy all together. Scotland, the autonomy all together. Northern Ireland, the autonomy all together. It's even like a confederation. But we can even say, because they are not detached, we can even say a federal type of government. But the form is a parliamentary because of the king, the royal structure of the thing. So that we look at Yoruba and we say that is our summit, and it's been in the archive and deserve when time comes. And a lot of research work and all. Nigeria shouldn't have been so worse like this. I will round off in a moment. Nigeria shouldn't have been so worse like this. Even if in the situation where Nigeria put itself lying, making the bedrock of Nigeria is lie, calling a unitary system a federal system. That's what Nigeria. And the most painful thing is that the so-called terrestrial television, the journalists, I question the school that all these people went to, calling themselves a journalist. I don't know what was that. They know that what Nigeria is practicing sincerely, this is not federal system. Where no component unit have autonomy. Even we were here the other time. They said the governor is the chief commander. The chief commander is commanding the police that was sent from Abuja. The police say he cannot obey you. That he only obey you. Is that a commander? Is that a chief security? A police that is not even up to commissioner of his state. He can't command him. And he came to his state. That is what we do the other time. Over that one. And that police siege entire land in his state. I say he obey from Abuja, the IG. Is that a federal system? Look at during George Floyd black man's matter, life matter. When Trump was in problem and all that, the chief police of one of the states in United States spoke against Trump and said he should keep his mouth shut. That the language he used is what caused the problem that they're trying to resolve, and he should not add more to them. I want to ask you, which commissioner of police in Nigeria, in a state, can speak against president and talk tough like that? Oh, they are all beggars. They are all beggars working for money. You don't work just because of money. You work for the value of it. You know, it's not just for money. If what we are working for is only just for money, then everybody should have just stopped work and just go and print money and be spending. We work for value of it. That is the reason in Yoruba nation, if you are a shoemaker, a cobbler, you will be respected just like the same banker that went to bank and not tie. So nobody will talk to you because you are a cobbler, and you too will carry your dignity. There is a dignity of labor. You carry yourself and do your job proper. That's what you do. I'm professional in it. So if you are a cobbler, you will be respected just the way they respect the person who says he is engineer and co. That is your own field. If you are a mechanic, that's the same thing. So nobody will come talk to you and say ordinary cobbler or ordinary mechanic. There's nothing ordinary there. In fact, in Yoruba nation, if you talk like that, you will be sued for hate speech because that is derogatory. But in Nigeria, they don't. They look down on themselves and feel that once you are you can class yourself to be one side. That is classing for what? And when you speak against government, that is what they say is a speech. Any word against government is a speech, but they don't know the meaning of its speech itself. So when they look at what is happening in the country and the people are talking, they look as if people that are less privileged. They don't know that it's abnormal. It's abnormal because everything has no dignity. Right from the top, has no dignity. It's paddy, is I know you. It's not by your qualification. It's not by your profession. It's not by integrity. It's just okay. That's why you see people in working place friending themselves. In Yoruba nation, discipline and structure. If you go engage in all that, both of you will go to prison. It's not that they will sentence the man, including the woman. You will go to prison for it. Except you go and divorce your wife or divorce your husband before you engage in that. But you have a oath of marriage. You respect it. You respect it. We are not animals. We are not animals. You respect it. And that's why there are bitterness in homes, bitterness among people, causing confusion because simple obedience to life, they can't obey. They can't obey. The moral attitude is degenerating because of the circumstances. Nigeria, everything, anything can happen with money. Yeah, with money, anything can happen. But what is money? Just a paper, illegal tender, a form of acceptance for giving services or selling goods. That's just a money. The value is important. The value. If you have no value, you have nothing to market. If you have no dignity for something, you have nothing to. So wealth or riches that we are actually talking about, it is not material things. It is the dignity that you have. What is the benefit of a mechanical engineer who went to school and have certificate but does not know how to remove the tire of his car? He doesn't know how to remove the tire of his car. What did he go and learn? And he sees a mechanic that will remove the tire, change and repair the tire without buying new one and put it back, and he calls him ordinary mechanic. He need to drop that certificate and go and learn from that person and become an apprentice for 3 months or 6 months. But the pride will not allow them. So when we are in Yoruba nation, all this will change. All this will change because there will be structural and structural ways of life, of living. It will be stated clearly, right from different institutions to institution, right from organizations to organizations. It will be stated clearly. So, and the Constitution is not that there are two types of Constitution. We have written Constitution and unwritten Constitution. Now, we have a lot of ignorance, including so-called Nigeria. I don't know the university they go in Nigeria. I've seen some 2 or 3 people who are even lawyers coming on the media. When they talk about unwritten Constitution, they will express their narrative as if it's a constitution that is not written down, that they just assume on their head. And they went to school. That's a complete wrong narrative. Unwritten constitution doesn't mean it's not written down. It is a legal term. Every word has their own term. In the engineering world, they have their own term, the way they speak. In the medicine world, all the doctors, they have their own terms, the way they speak. In accounting world, they have their own term. You'll be hearing ledger, you'll be hearing the credit, the debit. These are accounting words, their terms. The credit just mean to depositing. The debit just mean to withdraw something. But if you are not in their own fold, when they are saying credit, debit, you'll be confused. You are not an accountant. When they are saying ledger, cash book, you'll be confused. So every word has their own term. In a law setting, you'll be hearing my plaintiff, exhibit, and all those kind of things. Exhibit just mean an item as an evidence. So they have their own term. One of the term is unwritten constitution. That's their own term. So what did they call unwritten constitution? Is a constitution that is more than one book. That is unwritten constitution. When you have a constitution that is more than one book. UK, they use about 24. The Act of so year, the Act of 18 they are still using it. The Act of Transportation, the Act of Agriculture, the Act of Industrial Clinical, the Act of Matrimony. So in Sweden, they use 16. They use unwritten constitution also. 16 books. So when we say written constitution means that all the constitution is inside one single book. Once you lay your heart on that book, you can point and say, this is the constitution. That is written. But when we say unwritten, it means that you cannot lay hold on one and say, this is the constitution. You have to say, this are constitution, because there are more than one books. That is unwritten constitution. It's a term. So we will not use written constitution like Nigeria. When all the laws are modeled up in one single book. What is the benefit? Unwritten constitution is so straightforward, and cases are not modeled up, and cases are treated straightforward. In fact, the accused person will bring lawyer to beg and say, please tamper justice with mercy, because the crime he committed is inside a single act in a particular book that is very straightforward and clear. So no lawyer will come to be taking a scenario from another book. For example, now you are a Greek person, and all the rules of agriculture, farm, animal husbandry, trees and all those is inside the Agricultural Act. Now, we now have another act of transportation. That one has to do with road, everything, one side. Now, you an agri person now, you now commit a crime in the duty of agri services. You know, all what is the discipline and everything, the consequence is inside the Agri Act. Now, when you are in court, there is no lawyer will now tell the judge and say, my judge, according to our constitution, in the Act of Transportation, the judge, in fact, the person who is sitting in front of the judge will say, shut your mouth up. Objection. That is the term they always use. What he's saying is shut your mouth up. He said, objection, my lord, you keep quiet straight. Because you are derailing from the real act. You are going to what doesn't concern the act. What concerns Act of Transportation with Act of Agriculture. So they will sit you down immediately and make sure you confined to that where the person commit the act of agriculture. And so the person knows that won't you share that you know go see on a jukape adajo wipe òun ṣèṣì ni irú ẹ̀ ò ní ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́. So it reduces crime. People know that in UK there, Koiki, you know, anybody who commit crime, he knows that he's not running anywhere. He must face it. He can only call the lawyer to plead. In Nigeria, people commit crime and goes with it because the written constitution models everything up inside one single book. So a lawyer can come and confuse the judge and say that in this constitution, so far he has said in this constitution, all the law is inside that one book. He will just deviate from the Act of Agriculture that is inside that same one book and go to the Act of Transportation inside that same one book and quote something that to save that person who has committed the crime. And you will be holding the judge responsible that the constitution say anything that is out that do not comply to this thing should be null and void. So the judge knows the truth, but with the argument of that lawyer, the judge is now confused. That is the dilemma of written constitution that Nigeria is using. In Yoruba nation, we will not join hand and use it. We will use unwritten constitution. Our laws will be spelled out in different sectors, different ways of life in each books. And it will all be our constitution. It will make the lawyers and the judge work very fast and very easy. And the citizen also become law-abiding. Benin Republic, they use unwritten constitution. That Benin Republic there, all their law is not inside one book. There are many acts. That's what they are using. France, it is unwritten constitution too. Before they were using one single book, written constitution. There was a riot. They also have to split it. They brought back all their laws, indigenous laws and everything, and make it unwritten constitution so that the crimes and judgment will be clear and fast. And when citizen knows that, everybody will be law-abiding. That is the reason you will see in Benin Republic, a driver will drive and make mistake. Police will not pursue him. The driver will park immediately. He knows he has committed the crime. He will park and go and meet the police to plead out his case. so that he will not be arrested. Police will not pursue him, and the police doesn't carry gun. They just stand there. He knows if you run, you are in trouble. You will reach court. If you run, they have seen your number. They will just phone the next terminal you are going. They will arrest you there. You are a criminal. What they will be asking you, when you did that, why did you run? If you know it's you see, these are simple. Immediately you enter Nigeria, you will see rubbish people with gun in their hand, as if you are in a war zone. And you did not commit any crime. You did not. They will stop you, point gun at you, asking you for money, as if they were not collecting salary. And when people are even asking the government to increase the salary so that these people too will benefit, they are the ones government will give guns and say, kill the people, shoot them who are asking for implement of this. So Nigeria is simply a confused state. It will disintegrate. Yoruba nation will come out. And all what we are saying is just to learn the best way not to run our own government. So thank you very much, Koiki.
Wow. That was our own Bishop Additional that took us through half an hour of lecturing and education. And we love you so much on the platform. And we hope to catch up again during the week. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow. What a very interesting time to be alive. Moki brother me Akede Odua on the Twitter post some few hours ago, about 10:30 yesterday. We're now 27th. Many of us have been following what is going on in Kenya. It looks like the citizens are saying they want more. The citizens of Kenya are saying it is not even about the bill. What they want now is the President William Ruto, the criminal political politician. Good night to those of you going to bed. I wish you are awake. Though we're going to end the program just in about a few minutes from now. The official statement of the Kenya citizen is now calling for the immediate resignation of President William Ruto. We, the citizens of the Republic Kenya, hereby declare that we no longer, and if you're watching on my live feed through the laptop, you will see that they've invaded the parliament. They're putting on the garment. When I upload the video later, some of you will see it on the Facebook. Mumbai jẹ́ díẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Rakati àti ẹni kan sí bíbá. Mumbai, ẹ jẹ́ ká díẹ̀ pẹ̀lú yẹn. Alimari wọn kò nínú program, so I've dealt with that. Now let's come back to the, and then after this, mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Bolivia briefly, then we end the program. So the Kenya citizens are now saying, look, they've had enough. Just go. That is all that matters now. They are not interested at all in your government anymore. The day of reckoning is coming in Nigeria. Unsumo de. So let's leave that and move straight to Bolivia one more time. I told you at the beginning of the program that there is a current coup going on in Bolivia. Bolivia is in somewhere in South America. The population of Bolivia, they have a republic and a unitary state and a presidential system. So three kind of government in one run is in South America, in Bolivia. I've gone to look at their export. Export in 2022. The total export in total produce was 13 billion. That means pé tí Lagos bá dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú kan, ó ṣeéṣe kí Lagos náà máa make 20 billion tó bá tẹ̀ máa make it, but àmọ́ bí tó kó yẹn sí. So many of us are suffering because our Yoruba politician knows the game. There is money in Yoruba land. Owó burúkú bẹ níbẹ̀. All right. Let's deal pẹ̀lú ọmọ iná lórí burúkú tó ṣẹ̀ wọlé. Máa yọ nísìn. Ọmọ àlè. Olórí burúkú Charity. Ó ní ṣoríire. One bastard. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yẹ yín nísìn. Bolivia, their total export, gbogbo tó tà ní ọdún 2022, ó bọ́ sí 13.8 billion. Ẹ wá máa bèrè pé kí ni wọ́n ń tà àti pé kí ni revenue tó fi mówó wọlé. Ondo State has gas, just as Osun State has gold. Do you know that 3 major items has given that huge revenue? One of them is petroleum gas. I'm talking about Bolivia in 2022. According to the statistics, Bolivia sold 3 billion worth of petroleum gas, 3.8 billion in dollars. So, nínú 13 billion tí wọ́n pa wọlé ní 2022, wọ́n pa 3 billion, not 3.8 billion. So that means pé nínú 13 yẹn, 3.8 orí ẹ̀ ó wá láti inú one resources tó ń pè ní petroleum gas. So you, me, tẹ́ ń sọ pé a lè rówó tá a bá wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ìyà máa jẹ wá. Bá ṣe máa calculate náà lélẹ̀. Now, kò wá ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló gbọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ní petroleum and gas, but owó ẹ̀ tó bá ń pa ó gbọ́dọ̀ kan aráàlú through a benefit system of government. I told you yesterday that ọmọ Yorùbá tó dé ìlú yìí tó pè mí, ó ń ṣe immigration ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, ó máa lọ sign. Just like I told you, it's not a problem. Mo wá ní kílẹ̀ ń worry fún, wọ́n ní kẹ́ wá máa sign. Ṣé mọ̀ pé yín bẹ́tà jù àwọn tó wà l'African country lọ? Ẹ máa dúpẹ́. Ìtàwọn èèyàn máa ń sọ ni bàbá mi Táíwò Báṣọ̀run, wọ́n máa ní ìyà máa jẹ wá pé ìbọn láti máa rí tòmátò àwọn Fúlàní tá à ń jẹ. Mo ń sọ fárákùnrin yẹn pé ṣé mọ̀ pé ẹ kẹ́ máa dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé UK lẹ́yìn wà. Àwọn sisters mi, àwọn brothers mi tó wà ní African countries tó ń communicate pẹ̀lú mi, wọn ò ní access nǹkan tẹ́yìn ní so far. Lóòótọ́ ẹ níwèé láti fi ṣiṣẹ́ nílùú yìí. Mo wá béèrè pé ṣé wọ́n fún yín lówó? Ẹ̀rọ ní Mr. Koiki wọ́n fún àwọn lówó, but orí voucher ló wà. Mo ní bọ̀ wọ́n fún yín lówó. Wọ́n ò fún yín lówó pé kẹ́ send us Africa. Ẹ̀yin lẹ sọ pé ẹ wá claim asylum nílùú yìí. Owó tán fún yín, wọ́n fún ní 45. Yeah, it's been a while. Tosky Best Auto. I guess you have been very busy making money and you didn't have time to log in and watch program, which is quite understandable. The money given to you is not for you to send it back to Nigeria. That is why it has been converted to food voucher. You will only use it to buy food. So every time you go to the store, you pick whatever you want based on the value of the 46 pounds you are being given every week. Money for only yes, you are not paying house rent. Money, but I understand we are Africans, Nigerians. You need to send money to your loved ones back home. I am now asking, is it possible for me to return back to Nigeria and claim asylum and I will get a house? The government they don't need to give me the money, but I need it in a voucher. Those of us inside Nigeria itself, we don't have that access. You can see why it is important that we all engage now before Nigeria explode on us. This is somebody, you know, that came to this country less than 2 years ago. His application is still with the Home Office. There's no decision yet, even though they've rejected his application. He has been asked to come and be signing. I did sign for 3 years. It's not a crime. It's nothing. If you're not born in a country, you will go through immigration. I didn't even have the same access like him some decade ago. They are giving him £46 every week. He's not paying house rent. He's not paying electricity bill. He's not paying gas bill. They'll probably give him a room, not like a house. He will be living in an hostel with people, but just one room, shared kitchen. He might have his own toilet, I don't know. But he's not paying for all that. This is in UK. Do you understand? Yet, many of us in our own country that we call our own country, you can't even get 10,000 from your government every month to support you. Don't tell me Nigeria doesn't have such amount of money. If Bolivia, I am not saying that Bolivia, whether their citizens are enjoying or not, I am just trying to figure out if Bolivia is a country of 12 million population, according to the World Bank, and they are still pushing to make a revenue of 13 billion US dollars in their export. Because export means that what their citizens are helping their government to produce with private investor or whatever and selling out. The next thing that they are making money from is called the zinc ore, O-R-E, Oscar Romeo Echo. They made 1.68 billion US dollars on the zinc ore. It must be very important natural resources used for whatever those are needed for. The next one is gold. Bolivia has enough gold like Osun State. Go to Osun State and see that dancing governor up and down, just like Aregbe Mugbo. Also, most of them destroyed the whole state, took advantage of me and you. We love them, but they don't love us. We love them, but they don't have a love for us. Látijọ́ tí Ọ̀ṣun State in this state, ask yourself, what has been the benefit of you in the Ọ̀ṣun State? What has been your gain as a citizen of Ọ̀ṣun State? But you like to defend them. Bolivia were able to pull all their gold. Not like Zamfara say, we have a gold, but it's not meant for every Nigerian. It's only Tinubu government now probably trying to change things. As soon as Tinubu government is gone, Zamfara gold belongs to Zamfara. So, Dele Alake, mommy, you think that you can fix the resources of that ministry? Abi, a Yoruba man. Let me advise you. The North are just praying that your government complete quickly so that Zamfara gold will remain for Zamfara people. But right now, I understand you're pushing. You gave a gold bar to Tinubu. It's not new. Buhari was given the same gold bar. After your government has finished, if they burn your papa well, go back to Zamfara and say, this gold belongs to the whole of Nigeria. You, I'm talking to Dele Alake, okay? But right now, make sure you secure as much of their gold. And either you keep the money back in the government coffer or whatever shenanigans you want to do with it. I don't give a toss. but you will not control that gold resources in Zamfara State after Tinubu's government has been completed. And don't tell me 8 years. You have just 4 years to start with. To by the 2027, Deba Wale, however, by rigging, by whatever, that is subject to if Yoruba people still want to remain in Nigeria. Because don't tell me, please, please, go and watch my afternoon program yesterday. Freedom. So, in Bolivia, a population of 12 million people, they were able to sell gold worth $3 billion US. Gold in Nigeria, I'm tired now. I won't go through that now, but Glagbar along, my backup team is watching one humility. I will remind you, Alowo value gold alone in Nigeria in that same year. I'm sure it's less than that. You know why? Because it goes to the back. That is how far I can go tonight. Bishop mentioned Sweden. Their population is 10.49 million as of 2022, according to the World Bank. Bishop knows what he's talking about. He knows his onion. So whatever I'm reading here is not to contradict, or I am just telling you what the practice says. Government, parliamentary system, unitary state, representative democracy, constitutional monarchy, heretic monarchy. Kò ní dá fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá sọ pé ká keep Nigeria, ẹ ní ṣoríire. Kò ní dá fún yín. Keep Nigeria in your anus. And if you're one of those watching me and you say we keep Nigeria, you know go better for your papa and your mama. Nigeria has caused us pain. And it is time we let it end. Let's do it in the right civilized way. If not, there is problem coming. I am not the one that said it. I'm just going to give you just the last preview video. And then after this video, I'll end the broadcast. This was what I watched. And I'm not here to say whether this prophecy will come or not. But me, I am praying that everything that will shut down Nigeria quickly should happen. If it's Dangote's fire that will shut it down, if it's another fire, whatever it is. Listen to this man, what he said regarding what is coming in the Southeast, he mentioned. But whatever happened in Southeast, don't say, alone in the Southwest, it will just erupt down to Southwest. Let's watch it.
Is HelloFresh worth the price? Absolutely. I just love the idea.
In this very prophecy that I must also lift up what's called a strong prayer for the eastern part of the country, Nigeria, because eastern part of the country, Nigeria, is going to experience what's called turbulence.
Okay.
And this turbulence is not just a turbulence, but this is what's called a destiny definition. Destiny definition is going to be like a turbulent time. I see a lot of aeroplane trying to fly over the eastern part of the country. I see a lot of war machines and a lot of war equipment going into the roads and going from major road to major road. And the Lord said they must pray for the eastern part of this country, because the destiny of this eastern part of the country is about to be defined. It's about to be defined. Because whether anybody likes it or not, Nigeria agrees or not, the best thing to do is to settle their matter with the people of Biafra, especially the IPOB leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and make sure that this matter is resolved once and for all. Because I am seeing what's called the terrain. I'm seeing the terrain very hot and very, very difficult, and things now begin to go beyond the human control and begin to go beyond the power of the government. I see so many institutions shut down over there, and I begin to look at over there, and I see so many institutions institutions now moved out of that place, and so many institutions just come in, and the Lord said we must continue to intercede, especially for the people in the eastern region part of this country, because their space will be taken over and their land taken over, and the place is taken over, and they're beginning to look at the people who take over these places. This is not Nigeria, but people that grew up from the land are standing tall to take over their lands.
In tó ń sọ ni pé àwọn ọmọ nílẹ̀ fi gbà á lẹ̀ o. I will leave it like that. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Yoruba nation no going back. All hail Biafra. All hail my Hausa Arewa people, my Ijaw people, Ambazonia. So when they play, don't believe the man of God. Èmi ò tẹ̀ ní pé kẹ́ believe it, especially èèyàn lórí burúkú politician. Ó súnmọ́ bọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. It is going to happen. We will all witness it in our lifetime. Ọmọ nílẹ̀ fẹ́ lólẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀rán ti díyẹ̀ òjò. Àwọn ọmọ nílẹ̀ fẹ́ lólẹ̀ o. A fẹ́ lólẹ̀. A good morning to you all, and I thank you so much for spending your very precious time with me. Mo kí ẹ AY Elijah, mo ti rí ẹ látẹ̀kọ́, mo ti ń kí ẹ, so mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Báńkì Alájà, mo kí Yorùbá Abẹ́òkúta. And on that note, orúkọ tèmi ni Olayomi Koiki. If you enjoyed the program, just share. That's all you can do for me. I am your last man standing. I will wake your spirit up. You will defend and fight for Yoruba land. Okudie. Okudie. And on that note, Odaro. Yoruba nation no going back. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ìbí wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga falere. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bàtí bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ògo Adúláwọ̀. Ìdòwú Mike mo kí yín, Mr. Taiwo Basharu mo kí yín, Daniel Adeyemi, every single one of you on the Twitter. I can't say the name, neither I can see or read your comment, but we love you. 70 of you, we appreciate you. And on that note, Yoruba nation, no going